Laredo, take us out.
Take her out.
Every Friday night, join the fun and let's go OffWorld. Geek out with us live, where the nerdiness will thrive. Buckle up and let's go OffWorld. Toys, comics, pop culture news, movies, and so much more. Matthew, Jesse, Curtis, and Sean are your guides on this fun-filled tour. Blast off! Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go OffWorld. Let's go OffWorld. Let's go OffWorld. Hey, hey, hey. Let's go OffWorld tonight.
It's almost time to do the thing with the fires and the tires, almost, but it was requested that I do this a second time.
Laredo, take us out.
Take her out.
Every Friday night, join the fun and let's go OffWorld. Geek out with us live, where the nerdiness will thrive. Buckle up and let's go OffWorld. Toys, comics, pop culture news, movies, and so much more. Matthew, Jesse, Curtis, and Sean are your guides on this fun-filled tour. Blast off! Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go OffWorld. Let's go OffWorld. Let's go OffWorld. Hey, hey, hey. Let's go OffWorld tonight.
All right, now we're ready. Woohoo, choo-choo. We are ready to go. It is Friday night. Joe, what time is it?
It is time to kick the tires and light the fires because we're going OffWorld.
Time to go OffWorld. We got a lot of people here. There's a lot of people in the chat.
Chat's jumping right on.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. Glad to see you here.
It's really weird. No matter how much I tell people that I don't advise watching the show.
And you tell them a lot.
I do. As much as humanly possible.
Could it be possible that they think that you're saying it as a diversion, like to hide something good from them?
Oh, like we're going to be doing something so much fun that we're just trying to keep them away
keep
from
it for ourselves, you know?
Right.
And they're like, ooh, that sneaky Curtis. I'm going to watch just in case it's good.
Maybe that's what it is. You know, I was talking to our good friend Jordan this week, who left some Warlock. And I was saying, you know, watching OffWorld to me is like watching Saturday Night Live, right? Like 95% of it's going to be complete garbage, but there's going to be that 5% that you're like belly laughing. So it's like, are you up to put up with the 95% of crap to make it to that belly laugh? You know,
and I think our audience is, you know, I mean, you know, if they know us, they know it's worth looking through the turd to find that gem that the dog swallowed, you know.
Well, I mean, somebody liked us enough that they hit that like button and brought Trevor here. So,
hey, wow.
So Trevor's already here.
His comments pretty good too, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Legion's Quest is real. I do recommend Legion's Quest. Legion's Quest is
Legion's
awesome.
Quest is very good.
Yeah, it's really good. Speaking of Legion's Quest, before we bring on these awesome guests that we have, I heard that those guys over at Legion's Quest are doing a little testing for the Mythic Legion Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
I heard that they're going to be doing that also as well. And unfortunately, we cannot share it because there's trade secrets involved.
Yet.
But we will be recording the episodes. So when the game is officially released, we get to post those. So everybody will get to check out us slogging our way through the new rule system.
Yeah. And
which is not true because it's a very familiar rule system.
And you've been doing a good job of setting it up and getting us ready for it. So I have to say, as much as I enjoy playing Graddock in a Legion's Quest, and I have a lot of fun with that character, I feel like I'm very excited for my new character in this other one. I think is going to be very interesting and fun for me to play.
And this, everyone, is why Curtis has played through Baldur's Gate 3 6 times. He just likes to try new things.
Correct.
You know, but it'll be fun. It's always fun to get in a new game, a new story, and try new things. You know, we're gonna have a really good time with it.
My new character is not Graddock. No, it's not. It's not. It is Kuranok Stronghorn. So there you go.
There's a little teaser for everybody. Yeah.
Well, let's bring out the guy that does the thumbnails, the man with the plan. We got Jeff Ray in the house. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, sir?
Good. Two things. People come because of the thumbnail. And two, I go behind your back and say it's worth coming every Friday night to watch.
Okay. Gotcha. So you're negating all of my work to try to keep people away. Okay. All right. Well, next we have got this next guy. He's pretty awesome.
With a Z.
Yeah. He's been doing some good stuff. He has this show on Saturdays where he kind of brings the community together. If I'm being honest, there's a lot of tubers on there, a lot of folks that like talking toys, having fun, being cool kids. Part of the cool kid club, if I was to say, and just recently hit a milestone on YouTube with over 1,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Over 1,000. We got him in the house tonight. We're going to be doing some celebrating. We got some other business to attend to first, but we're going to be doing some celebrating. But we've got Oz here. What's up, Oz? Ooh, nice. Hitting us with the Randy Orton. Very nice.
You know it. Thank you very much for that, Curtis.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows it's like one of the biggest milestones that you can possibly hit, or rather that first big one. And then it's all down after that. So we'll see how it goes from here.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you joining us tonight.
It won't go downhill, Oz. You got nowhere to go but up, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's OffWorld. All right. It's like
it's kind of true. Yeah, I really have nowhere better to go up from here.
So Oz and Jeff, you guys kind of worked to get us special guests this week. This is not anything. Yeah, I mean, this is nothing that I've ever wanted for OffWorld. Like, I don't want to subject people to this. I think I did mention to Jeremy Gerard that if he wanted to promote his dragon, he might actually reach out to, as many as 9 people that aren't on screen. But Jeffrey, you worked on getting some folks. So what do we got going on? Who we got with us? What's going
on? So I didn't have an idea for this week, and I was like, well, there's the dragon going, but there's also a great other Kickstarter happening right now that people may or may not know about, and wanted to bring some of those peeps in to talk about it. Space Zombies from Mars.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. So who we got with us? First
coming up, let's see Adam Drake.
Ooh,
highly
the Drake.
Articulated.
Hey, nice. What's going on, everybody?
Nice. Love the Drake. Love the Drake. How's it going, sir? How you doing?
It's going well. I'm seeing a counselor about my rage issues. and
you were out of control last weekend.
How very
sir.
un-Canadian
Out
of
of
you, Adam.
control.
and other than that, we got the Kickstarter going on, so I'm just a very nervous, anxious ball of tired energy. So I'm my brain's all over the place, but it's going good.
Beautiful. And who else we got there, Jeff?
And coming up next is Ira Pelletier.
Oh, Ira. I thought it was okay. I thought it was the Irish Republican Army or whatever. No, it's not. Okay.
No Irish in me. I'm here for the 95% crap. That's why I'm here.
Well, you're gonna get it.
Yep. In mass.
Nice.
That's what we strive to do here.
So tell us, fellas, what you got going on? Tell us a little bit about this Kickstarter.
So we've got the Space Zombies from Mars Kickstarter. It is a 6-inch scaled line of astronauts and zombies with a soundtrack to go with it, a comic book to go with it, both of which Ira is responsible for. And they're sculpted by Arlen Pelche, who's been doing action figure sculpting for a decade. If you collect toys, especially if you're doing 6-inch scale action figures, you've probably got a whole bunch of his stuff on your shelf, whether you know it or not. So the designs are Arlen's, the lore and the music are Ira and Arlen, and I do the bookkeeping.
Okay.
The fun stuff.
Well, I know you've been doing a lot of,
but I realized I wasn't.
Well, I know you've been doing a lot of the rounds, like hitting up a bunch of shows and stuff. And I've actually used you as an example for what I wish the Horsemen were doing right now. I love the Horsemen; they're great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not throwing shade, but I would love to see them doing the rounds and just 2-3 shows a day and just boom, like really hitting the campaign trail and the especially the folks that are kind of outside the Mythic community, and getting the word out. So I've been using you as that example. So you can't be tired, can't be angry Canadian tonight. You gotta be Adam the Superstar, the Kickstarter extraordinaire. So
you know what, you're right though. That's the thing, is that like this is it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of hours, but I mean this is it, right? Like this is the grind, this is the hustle. You have to do it. I've literally seen other Kickstarter and crowdfunded campaigns that I genuinely believe failed because no one had any idea that they were happening. And the biggest challenge for us is that we don't have something like the Cabal, like we don't have a kind of baked in customer base. So we have to get in front of as many people as will sort of allow us to invade their personal space. So it's a pleasure to be on here, and Jeff, thank you for reaching out. Because as I said, we need eyes on the project, and the more people that see it, hopefully the more people will back it. And we're just super, super excited to share this with everybody. So the more people that will sort of invite us into their homes in a certain way, the better.
Well, I mean,
vampires.
I notoriously don't want to invite people on here because I don't want them to have unrealistic expectations. But I already said, we may, get you out in front of as many as 9 people that aren't on screen. But I was wrong. We got 26 people here, and even if 6 of that's us, that's 20 people. So here we go. 20 people. What are you waiting for? If you haven't backed this yet, get in here and back this. So
and that's the thing. And I've said this on, just about every video, big video, small video, it doesn't really matter because not every channel's audience crosses over. So there might be somebody that's never seen this yet, and they're going to be, on board. So, even if it's one person, it's significant to us, and we appreciate it. So thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for having us, for sure.
So I know you said 6-inch scale, but we've also, across different toy lines, we see a lot of 6-inch scales that kind of up and down. Like, what would you say, like, comparatively this looks like? Is there a toy line that you could say, hey, it really is going to be kind of in this kind of range?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is when we say 6-inch scale, what we're maybe more specifically referring to is like the Hasbro 6-inch scale,
okay,
which is also going to be the same scale as like Operation Monster Force or Action Force, or other sort of lines like that. So it's not a 112, it's not a 110, it's sort of somewhere in between. I will be posting a picture, and actually I can send it in the chat.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
No, I can't because it's on my phone and I'm using my phone as my camera.
Well, that'd be not as great, but that's fine.
Because I took it last night and forgot to send it. But yeah, they're effectively a 6-inch tall figure that's next to a Monster Force or next to a G.I. Joe Classified. They look virtually identical.
Okay.
They scale surprisingly well with Cosmic Legions. When I took this sort of scale photo, I had Fisher Rice next to Guy Garrison, and I think they work. I actually think they work really, really well. So, if you want to add a couple astronauts to your cosmic shelf, and if you can sort of, headcanon human astronauts into Cosmeria, I think they'll work.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I've always loved about the Legions line is that there is such a variety in size. Like I did a video with Jesse where we went through just like different size characters, and I think we got to like 17 different sizes. Like it was ridiculous. So, even if something is, not quite that 7-inch that I think, kind of Legions kind of claims to be, like some of their figure, even the 2.0s are a little bit shorter. You've got goblins, you got this and that. So I love the size variety in that line. And it also makes it to where you can fit other things in, like something like this. If somebody's, wanted some kind of space zombies in their Cosmic Legions, that would be cool to kind of mix this in there with it.
Well, even just, having the astronauts, right, stumble across Cosmerium is pretty cool. And think of how awesome these guys are going to look next to those very retro-themed sci-fi accessory packs from like the Ox Crew wave, too. Just help build out this world of this grand universe that travels across different galaxies. So,
absolutely. So there's, I know there's kind of a story behind what these folks are and what they're doing and how they became zombies that are out in space. So what's the kind of how did this all come to be, I guess, Ira?
Well, it started out basically as my brother and I, Arlen, the sculptor, wanted to put some music together. We hadn't been playing in bands together for a really long time, and Arlen and I went over to his house to we were going to do our first sort of recording session, jam session, and he had just gotten this little puppy, and the puppy fell asleep on my chest, and so because we're both dads, we're like, we can't wake up this puppy, like it's too cute. And so instead of playing music, Arlen showed me these sketches that he'd been working on of zombies and astronauts, and like just basically the kind of skeleton head inside the astronaut helmet. And as we were trying to also figure out what kind of music we were going to play, and I was like, well, why don't we make like a fake soundtrack to go along with a movie about these guys? And so that's kind of what we set about doing. We wrote the entire story out that night, like not word for word, but we sort of named all the songs, and we sort of did the story arc. And I heard you guys talking about Dungeons and Dragons earlier, and I'm a big D&D nerd, so I love building these stories and building out characters. And so we sort of wrote it all out. Then I went home, the puppy was still sleeping, and then we basically set about over the next 2 years. Every 2 weeks, Arlen came over to my house, and we went down into the studio and we recorded this album track for track. Okay, what do you want to work on today? Okay, let's work on launch. What does that need to sound like? Well, it needs to sound happy and it needs to sound exciting, but it also needs to sound a little bit foreboding, and like we know this is a tragedy. So so things aren't going to go the way they plan. And so we kind of just built this album. And as we were recording, Arlen was fleshing out the sculpts. And then when we finished the album, we decided we needed a comic book to go with it. And so he and I would sit down and we would come up with sort of like the leaders of the factions. And because again, like I'm a D&D nerd, I love building characters. So I built all these characters out and wrote the comic book with these guys. And yeah, it's kind of where we're at now. And then of course, awesome. Then we met Adam and asked him to come along, and the rest is history.
Well, I'm not going to ask you to give away all your secrets, because I know one of the shows I was watching with Adam said that you won't even tell him all the secrets. He said there's some stuff he's asked you guys about. You're like, nope, not yet.
Yeah,
but we see here there's some people that are zombies. There's some that are not. They're alive. Can you give us a little insight on like how come some of them are zombies and some of them aren't? What's going on here?
Well, basically what we have here is we're starting out our story as the Red Dust 2. So Red Dust 2 is the 4 factions of astronauts going to colonize Mars. And they're Red Dust 2 because in the 60s, Red Dust 1 went, and they were never heard from again. So as far as anybody can assume is they never made it. Technology got better. They're, going now. And so when they get to Mars, they find some interesting things, and they run into Red Dust 1, and we figure out what happened to them. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So let me share my screen here real quick. All right. So it looks like we've got the soundtrack and comic book is one thing to book or to back, right?
And that's a digital copy too.
Okay.
That one is, yeah.
I'm not sure what this not available in selected. I didn't even select a country, so maybe that's a problem.
Also, it is available everywhere, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Did you choose nowhere? Is that?
I guess you got to select.
He never selected a country. So.
Yeah. I don't want them to know where I'm at and what I'm going.
We only deliver on the Earth. So
that's a little hypocritical with the Mars Kickstarter, right?
Problematic.
I mean, if I want something from Mars, you should be able to deliver it to any planet I want. All right, so
on the Earth, deep sea, like if we go deep sea.
Does
so
UPS deliver there? If they do,
digging this a little bit. There we go. And actually, let me hold on. Let me try to adjust this a little bit. Maybe try to fill the screen a little bit better.
If you want, I've got it up again. I can go back and share screen again.
No, I don't. Okay. I got this, Oz, with your 1,000 subscribers. Oh, I got everything under control. No, we're good. All right, so we got the soundtrack.
We're 390 strong.
So, all right. So what do we got here? Who's this guy?
This is one of the military zombies.
Okay.
And by military zombie, we mean part of the military faction that has been zombified.
Ooh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of details in here. That's awesome.
Well, as our Adam and I both will tell you probably over and over again tonight, Arlen is a genius. The guy just knows his stuff. And I don't know much about articulation and all that stuff. I know Adam knows a lot more than I do about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Adam, if you want to talk about that sort of thing, but Arlen is, he's been doing this for 10 years now, and he's been sculpting things since he was a little kid. So it's not new for him.
So
we
go
get
ahead.
messages that are like, "Oh, I just improved the butterfly joint," and we're like, "What? What do you mean? Like, what was?" He's like, "Well, now it has a few more degrees, range of motion," and we're like, "I thought it was pretty good." Also, you're the one doing the files. We don't actually see them.
Right.
Adam's
he's kind of constantly tweaking it, and he's never satisfied, and he just always wants it to move a little bit better and a little bit more and a little bit wider range of motion and a little cleaner sculpt. So he's constantly fine-tuning this thing, and I have paint masters on my desk right now, and they look phenomenal, and I wish I could pose them and play with them. They
Trevor
look
Williams
phenomenal.
has entered the chat.
I've talked to Trevor about some of his photography of like prototypes and how like they don't move. So like how do you get them to look like action figures when they're effectively statues and stuff? And if the sculpts are good enough, you can almost get away with not doing that because people will just sort of see them and be impressed. And I think that's the case with these. We have shown a couple pictures of paint masters, but by and large, it's just been the digital renders, and the digital renders look phenomenal, and the paint masters look identical to the digital renders. Like there's no like softness to the physical figure. Sometimes you kind of see like the renders are sharp, and then you see the figure, and you're like, but they look phenomenal, and the sculpting, as I said, just a few interesting details about like what Arlen's done. So for anybody here that might be a Mythic Legions fan or a Cosmic Legions fan, I think that might be some of the people.
I've considered getting some of those. Yeah. Go ahead.
There's sort of some built-in like pop and swap here as well, because the arms and the legs are intended to be swappable.
See, so that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, the cuff on the bicep and the cuff on the thigh, that's both part of the sculpt, in that, that's where, spacesuits typically have a connection point. But it's also a part where these limbs will effectively swap. So, you get a nice clean break in the sculpt, and it allows for a great, connection point. So, you'll see a few kind of phantom limbs among the shadows there. Maybe not, because they're behind shadows. But yeah, there's the limbs are intended to be swapped out, so that you see 4 zombie limbs here. But if you wanted to have multiple zombies, you have the option to kind of mix and match the parts. So you can put the fully sort of astronaut suited arms and legs on any zombie. The heads are all going to be swappable. Obviously, I mean, that's an easy one, but
I thought you just maybe spilled some coffee or something.
Yeah, we just really poor digital renders with just coffee stains on digital coffee stains.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I mean, obviously there's certain parts, because I see some double articulation stuff that makes it difficult for swapping parts. But it's nice to know at least there's certain spots that you can swap. So you're saying like the top of the arms, top of the legs. What about like hands and feet? Are those able to be swapped as well?
The hands are swappable, absolutely. The feet, I guess, in theory, would be. I mean, they're just on mushroom peg.
Okay.
That being said, we really only have 2 feet. We have the bare sort of zombie foot and then the astronaut foot. So for the time being, I don't know that it would look. I mean, I guess you could have like a zombie with like a space slipper on.
Okay.
I was wondering if we can get
or a zombie.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could also do a zombie with a astronaut.
With a zombie
with a zombie foot, but the proportions would be a bit off, because the astronaut boot is quite thick compared to kind of the much smaller ankle for the zombie. But in theory, it would work. Yeah.
Well, and then obviously we're seeing extra heads, so clearly the heads are swappable.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What about like these accessories, like this like jetpack thing here? Like, does that just have a peg on the back? Is that how that goes in, or?
Yeah, so we're kind of going back and forth on that a little bit, because we can either do it in the same way that other lines have done it, and it'll fit on there just fine, but it's not a you know, it's not a perfect connection because it's just that peg. So if you you know, GI Joe or even Monster Force or anything like that, it's just that little peg, which is a little bit of a weak point. So we're sort of going back and forth whether it's going to be keyed to sort of be a little bit thicker and kind of plug in, or just have that little peg. It works fine with the peg, to be perfectly honest, but we're just sort of debating whether we want something a little bit more robust. But I think for the sake of like crossing over with other lines, it might make more sense to just sort of, you know, play in the same sandbox that everybody else is.
I mean, I will tell you that if like a customizer buys this because they want that accessory, they're going to make it work either way. So
yeah, that's true.
You know, it really doesn't matter what
they'll
you
cut
do.
Whatever's on there.
Yeah,
off.
I mean, I've seen people do stuff like that where they'll just cut the peg off and put like some earth magnets in the back of their figure, in the back of this, and just, you know, smack it on with a magnet. So
I think you can watch that video on Art by Ackerman. Actually,
it's not there yet, but I may need to do that. I love this, like the dome, like the shattered dome here. That's really cool.
That's really cool too, because it turns. So as you rotate it, it looks different. So if you're looking right at one of the zombie heads and you have it, every time you turn it, it's going to look like it's broken differently.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So this one for here, this is, as soon as I saw this in the Kickstarter, I backed this immediately because it's glow in the dark, which is a big thing for me.
Cool. Thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely. But just what I love about it too is you guys talked about, you know, this is, you know, Red Dust 2 is the mission that's going out now. The difference in the spacesuit from the first mission to the second mission and making that clearly a different visible trait, as opposed to everybody just having the same spacesuits.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think this would also, you know, we're talking about like mixing it with other lines. I think the Skeletron, the Robo Skull Skeletron, like this would be perfect for that. So yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and it'll scale. I mean, that's another line that this will scale perfectly with. So you got to think that like that Robo Skull is designed for their 6-inch figure. You know, if you wanted to put Spike Spectre, which is our sort of red astronaut, in there, or a zombie, you know, astronaut pilot, you could absolutely do that because they're going to scale almost perfectly.
Gotcha.
I should ask Ben what factory they used. We might even be using the same factory. I'm not sure.
That's cool. Let's see. And then here we got soundtrack, comic, and physical. Okay.
So the physical being the vinyl record.
Yeah. Which I heard is a certain color. What is what's the color of this here?
Yeah, so it may or may not be purple.
Oh, okay.
Got to be purple. Come on now.
Yeah.
I mean, the story behind that is that we needed, you know, we needed a render, we needed something to sort of post on the Kickstarter, and Arlen, you know, did this up in purple vinyl, and you know, kind of said like, "Are we happy with this? Is this fine?" And we were like, "Yeah, it's good enough." You know, like we just have to have something represented up there. Like we hadn't finalized the color. We'll just put like final color to be determined. But people don't read. So they just saw the purple vinyl and everybody was like, "I'm so excited for purple vinyl."
People love it.
I need purple vinyl in my life. I saw that and I was immediately drawn to it. Otherwise, I'd just be fine with like, you know, a digital copy. But I want purple vinyl in my life. So, I mean, if we're voting for this, my vote's in on the purple.
So what we're going to do is after the Kickstarter ends, anybody that's backed the Kickstarter will be able to vote in a poll, and we'll vote on the final color for the colored vinyl. We'll probably give people like 4 options, and you know, some version of a purple vinyl will absolutely be one of the options.
I have a feeling that poll is going to go a certain way.
Yeah, if I were a betting man.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, if people want purple vinyl, they just got to back the Kickstarter in order to be able to vote in the poll. So that's
all right.
There you go.
Purple fans out there, you've heard it. We all need to back it so we can have our votes heard.
Exactly.
I will not be denied purple vinyl, folks. I will riot.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I was gonna say if it's purple and green, like tie dye or mixed, that's the one I would be going for.
Sweet.
So what can people expect to hear on this soundtrack, on this vinyl? Like what do we got going on here?
Well, so you can see, let's see, on this side here behind me, I have this crazy blinking lighted machine.
Let's try to embiggen you. Yeah.
This is okay, so there we go. Embiggen, there's that word again. This is a
They didn't believe me that that's a word.
Here, I'll move out of the way. Yeah. See, this is a synthesizer that I built.
I believe they traveled to another world in the He-Man movie in '87 with one of those.
That's right. I think they called it the Key. That was a great one, that movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I built one of those. I'm getting ready to do some space-time travel soon.
Okay.
But my brother and I are super, like, you think toys are not the only nerd sphere, right? So we're very like synthesizer nerds, and we collect these pieces of synthesizers, put them together, build these crazy machines. So we were kind of just getting into that sort of world, and we were we had recorded the first song, which was actually it's not the first on the record, it was the first one we recorded, which it was Building a Colony is the name of the song. And we finished that one, and then I went skateboarding with my kids, and I did a Superman dive into the pavement, broke my wrist, and was unable to play the guitar. And so because of that, we basically dove right into the synthesizer stuff, and so there's a lot of synthesizer music on this record. You could think like, 9 Inch Nails sort of, or not 9 Inch Nails, but like Trent Reznor's sort of soundtrack work meets like, sort of disco funk meets horror soundtrack, like that kind of stuff.
So I'm guessing as you're listening through this, there's certain emotions, right? Like there's times that feel kind of more hopeful and times that feel less than hopeful.
Yeah, much less than hopeful.
Okay.
It's like real life.
Yeah, it's a tragedy. I can't state enough. The story is a tragedy.
Gotcha.
So the
sorry.
An interesting thing that we did was we wanted to use samples from old movies and find cool samples and then sort of put it on. But we were worried about copyright stuff. So something that we did was we got all our friends, we would just send them a text and say like, hey, can you just send me a voice message of you talking about dreaming? And then, we would get these totally sort of out of context samples of people talking, and then we would run them through effects pedals and make them sound, low pitched and make them sound crazy. So it's kind of like there's some real like deep sort of soundtrack stuff. There's some like almost dancing stuff. You could dance to it. And then there's some like horror anxiety producing, turn this off or I'm going to have a heart attack kind of stuff.
This is reminding me of like Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a concept album. That was the idea of it, for sure.
Well, that noise you may have heard earlier was us having a tornado warning. So, but ain't no tornado gonna stop me here. So keep rolling. So now this guy, this dude's loaded out. Holy cow! Look at all this stuff. What's all going on here?
Adam, you can talk about that stuff.
So this is Guy Garrison. This is the commander of the Red Dust 2 mission. He is, there's a connection here between him and the guy that led the first Red Dust mission. But, stay tuned for more on that in the comic book. You get a pretty good loadout. Everything that you see in color there, the figure, the extra head, the backpack, the astronaut helmet, 3 extra sets of hands, the hoses, the not alien pulse rifle, the pistol, the classified manila folder there. That's everything that you're going to get right now. If we unlock more of our stretch goals, you'll get more hands and then you'll get more extra heads and zombie parts and things like that. So Those shadow parts represent things that will be included if we reach certain funding goals.
So that stuff in that classified file there, is that the stuff that they won't share with you, Adam?
Pretty much. Yep. Pretty much. Guy Garrison knows,
it's just
but I
pictures
don't.
of his cool mustache.
That's awesome. I kind of see one shadowy thing here that I can kind of guess at. I think maybe, I don't know.
I think it's a lamp.
Yeah, it does look like a lamp.
For sure.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
It's an Italian lamp.
Yeah.
Reggie.
Yeah, it's a major award.
I was gonna say that's a major award.
Oh boy, what's going on here? This guy's got some like Doc Ock stuff going on.
Oh yeah, this is Julia Stryker. She's the kind of our sort of mother character who takes care of everyone, and she is the science division, and those are her robotic arms, and they fit into all the different peg holes that all the characters have, so they can be used for all kinds of fun stuff. She's one of my favorite characters. I love her a lot.
Those arms are articulated, so the claw will like be able to pinch.
Oh, nice.
And then everywhere there's sort of a circle through there is like a joint, a pivot point, and all of those will rotate as well. They're all on a peg, so you'll get plenty of articulation and movement out of those. And the claw that's on the end will actually pop off, and it will, it's sort of a modular. There's a lot of modularity across this, not just the limbs. Those claws will pop off, and they can go on some of the handheld accessories that come with a couple of the other figures, and vice versa. So there's a figure that comes with like a saw blade, and that'll go on this. There's another character that comes with a drill, and so that drill bit will go on the end of these arms, and vice versa. The claw, as I said, can go on the handheld tool as well.
So I'm asking for Trevor, but can you tell me what model camera that is there?
It's a Canon AE1.
Okay.
Like old school, winding film camera.
So no like probe lens or anything like that on that?
No, this figure does not come with bounce cards or blue lights or
blue lights,
anything of that nature.
Wow, bounce cards. I love that. All right.
You'll have to make your own 1/12 scale bounce cards.
Okay, so what do we got here? This is just completely in shadow.
So you're looking at the rewards, not necessarily the figures. This is just another reward. So this is if you want 2 of the zombies, you just pick this one, and it's a little bit discounted from if you just get 1. And if you keep going, like there's 2 astronauts, and then there's like an astronaut and a zombie, and 4 astronauts and 4 zombies.
And then like an all-in that has everything.
Yeah. So there's currently an all-in called Prepare for Launch, which is our all-in bundle of everything available at launch, which is now. So you get 2 astronauts, 2 zombies, plus the Kickstarter exclusive glow-in-the-dark zombie, a physical copy of the comic book, a physical copy of the record, and that is the best price, per item that you're going to get if you wanted all of those items. Once we unlock everything else, there's going to be another all-in bundle called the All Systems Go bundle, which will be the same thing. So you'll get one of everything that we make. And again, it'll be even slightly better pricing than the pricing is on this one. So
now, if I want to pay more, can I pay it in Canadian dollars, even if I don't have Canadian dollars?
Well, you'll actually pay in Canadian dollars, but
That's what I wanted.
Yeah. So because we are in Canada, Kickstarter will not allow us to run a Kickstarter campaign in US dollars. We asked. But all of we set all of our funding goals, and we set all of our stretch goals and everything like that in US dollars, and then we tried to put it all in, and they said you have to do it in Canadian dollars. So we had to kind of like reformat everything, and so the pricing, if you're looking in Canadian dollars, looks really high, and then you realize that it says Canadian 260, about 181 US. So that's the number that most people, the like 90% of the backers will be US based, which is also why we would have loved to do it in US dollars, but you just have to be mindful of like what number you're looking at to sort of get an idea.
I mean,
but just as a general idea, the astronauts are
for 181, that's a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Five figures, a 12-inch record, and a comic book.
Yeah,
I think it's a pretty good value.
What's the length of the comic book?
32 pages.
32 page of full comic book. Yeah.
Full comic book, yeah.
And Arlen illustrated parts of it, and he also illustrated that cover.
Nice.
Of the record there.
Gotcha.
As sort of a touch point, like the astronaut is basically $40, and the zombies are like $25. Now that's the Kickstarter price. The MSRP is sort of like 45 to 48 for the astronaut, and for the zombie it's like 28 to $30. So we didn't do a great job of sort of explaining to people that like the Kickstarter price is already a discounted price based on what everybody after the fact is going to be selling them for. I think Big Bad Toy Store has them listed at 48 and 30. So right off the jump, like if you back an astronaut at $40, you're already saving yourself like $8. And if you buy multiples, it goes down. If you back sort of 4 astronauts, you're paying like $37 or something like that per.
Gotcha.
So.
Now I may have missed it, but B-Dog's asking how many points of articulation.
I saw the question and I was trying to do the math in my head quickly, but I'm never good at counting them. So I'll just go through the articulation if that works as well.
I mean, I got the breakdown.
There's also a picture on the.
Yeah, there's an articulation breakdown on the Kickstarter campaign, or you guys can bring it up. But it's double jointed knees and elbows, butterfly joints, articulated wrists. The neck isn't connected to the torso. So it's like a separate. So you get the articulation of the neck as well as the articulation of the head on the neck. The torso, or sort of the core, is like 3 pieces. So you get the upper, the core, and the diaper area. Boot cut, thigh cut, bicep cut. Pin rocker for the ankle, with a pivot as well. So lots of points of articulation. Is my answer. Like what I've been saying is, like, if you're used to modern action figure articulation, this is gonna be right up there with some of the best stuff. It's not import articulation. Like, this isn't over engineered where like the arms dislocate from their sockets and do weird things. This is very much in line with something like G.I. Joe Classified or Operation Monster Force.
I mean, I wouldn't expect a character that's in a full, astronaut suit to be able to do like Spider-Man type posing.
But
if you do, yeah.
So it's funny that you say that, because there's been a couple people that have been like, I don't need the astronauts to pose at all. They're in spacesuits. They would be kind of clumsy and clunky and what have you. But when this funds, we're going to use parts of this for other figures. So, we're going to do figures that aren't astronauts. And so having the articulation already built in there, just makes practical sense for future use.
Yeah.
Because there's actually a secondary piece that goes over the main buck. So in the same way that you think of like G.I. Joe Classified, where you can have the same body on multiple figures, and you might not even notice because the secondary sort of hides a lot of the sculpt. Arlen's plan is sort of in that vein. He's worked on classified figures. He's sort of worked with classified parts and done secondary parts for them and stuff like that. So it's a world that he's completely familiar with. And so that's sort of the idea for us, is that we want to, establish, a parts library, and then use that for future waves to do, non-spacesuit figures, non-zombie figures, and so on and so forth. But, beyond that too, these are zombies. So zombies don't move the way that humans move, or at least you typically kind of don't see them move, right? They're all kind of bent and crooked, and you want them to be kind of janky and awkward looking. So the articulation, in my opinion, is actually more important for the zombies than it actually is most of the time for the astronauts. And so you're going to be able to hit all the poses you want with the zombies, because they actually have thinner limbs, so you'll get a little bit more out of some of those joints. And it's the same articulation scheme for the zombie as it is for the astronaut. So you're not losing any of the articulation points with the zombies.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah. I was pulling up the screen again for the breakdown of the articulation, because if you look, like, this is not that hulky spacesuit. Like, this is like a bare minimum spacesuit. So when you're talking about the under, this is kind of what you're talking about. And then the other pieces kind of get added over top of it to make that big chunky spacesuit, except for maybe the boot tips here.
Yeah, you do. You're absolutely right. When you kind of put the pack on and you put the helmet on and you have the secondary on, they do look very much like that kind of bulky astronaut look that people expect. And, of course they do, because that's how they're supposed to look. But the base figure itself is very, very nicely articulated.
Yeah. I got this picture sent over me by an anonymous source.
Yeah, I turned my camera off for a second so that I could use my phone as a phone and sent these over.
So, I mean, this looks like it works with a lot of stuff. I mean, and obviously the people on this stream probably are most familiar with the Cosmic Legions.
Yep.
But yeah, I could see it working with that, and I could see it working with all this other stuff, especially like the Operation Monster Force, Classified, Valaverse, that kind of thing as well. So,
William Husted said drop down hips. Yes, I forgot to mention it does have drop down hips.
Now, okay, while I've got you here, hold on one second.
Did I see?
Sorry, I gotta ask real quick, because I got my daughter here and she got a wrestling figure this week that had the drop down hips, and she didn't understand what the purpose of the drop down hips were, and I am not smart enough to explain the benefit of the drop down hips. So can you, as a toy guy, explain while she's in the room so that she can hear?
Yes, absolutely. So the benefit of the drop down hips is if you have a hip joint that's sort of a ball peg that sticks straight out from that diaper sort of crotch area, the leg will only go up so far before the sculpt kind of hits that hip. But if you drop the hips down, you'll actually be able to get more articulation. So it's either whether that's out or whether that's a high kick. A drop down hip just gives you a little bit more clearance from the other part of the hip to sort of get further range of articulation.
Gotcha. So if she's talking about a wrestling figure and it's a Seth Rollins, if she wants to get that really good kick going, get that high kick or something.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, gotcha.
Gonna get that good curb stomp.
I'm not good with wrestling, but I think it's Sami Zayn does the halloumi kick. Yep. You're not gonna get that without drop down hips.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, she's a CM Punk fan, and she actually got the Seth Rollins figure because it was on sale, and she said she specifically got it so that he can kiss CM Punk. So
I tried to order that John Cena figure, but I couldn't see it on the website.
Yeah, I couldn't see it either.
I thought you were going to say that she was going to put him to sleep. I didn't expect the kissing part.
I was going to say, I was going with Joe on that one.
No, she said it so they can kiss. I was like, okay.
Right. Hey, it's her fan fiction, man. That's
exactly.
Right.
They're your toys.
Toys.
Do whatever you
play
want.
how you like.
Exactly.
So I'd like to say I feel like
it's already paying off. Look at that.
Thanks,
there we
Carlo.
go.
Like I said, if it's only one, I'm happy. I'm excited.
It's one step closer. Appreciate you, Carlo.
This may be the first time that OffWorld has ever benefited anybody. So congratulations.
We're pleased to be the first.
Awesome. So you got 17 days left, right?
Yep.
So how are you guys feeling right now?
We're still
feeling good. This is that lull, right? This is the middle of a campaign where like you typically you're kind of losing your mind because like everything slows down. We've had a pretty steady go. I will say this, we will need a big spike at the end. There's no, I'm not going to sort of pretend that we don't. But
Let me interrupt real quick. I just gotta. In fact, I'm gonna be big of myself for a second. All right, folks. I'm gonna tell you what Adam's not telling you. Okay, he's right now. He's kind of got all the angry Canadian out of his system, and he's trying to be nice at him. Okay, here's what I'm gonna tell you. If you're thinking that you may want to do this, go ahead and back it. It's Kickstarter, right? They're not taking it till the end of the campaign. He's not telling you that. Now, on the Mythic Legion one, we've been talking about the dragon, they're taking your money out right now. So if you have to wait till the end in order to back, I totally get it. There's no reason to wait here. He's not going to tell you that, but I'm going to tell you there's no reason to wait. You need to get in there right now. If you even think there's a possibility you may want these figures, get in there, back it. Okay. Sorry, I had to do that because I
know absolutely. I mean, that's nice. There's no risk right now, right? Your money doesn't come out of the account. Maybe you're waiting on a paycheck. Maybe you're whatever. You don't have to worry about that because your card won't get charged till the end of the campaign, and the campaign doesn't end until March 31st. So, I've been saying, if you're thinking about backing it, don't wait because that gets that funding goal, unlocks and all that kind of stuff going. And it's a funny thing where like when people see things start to unlock, they have a tendency to back it. But everybody's waiting for it to unlock, and it just they wait too long or whatever.
The vicious
which is
cycle.
Why there's always a spike at the end. But
Kenzo said he was gonna back it, but now he's out. And you know what? They don't want you Mo2 guys anyway. So get on out of here. So.
Yeah, no, I mean
I got Oz with that one.
Curtis.
Oz is that. No, we're pushing to get people to back it now because it's there's 17 days left, but like let's be honest, like the anxiety is killing me. Like
I want Spike Spectre. I need Spike Spectre.
Yeah,
well,
let's unlock them, guys.
So we got to get there. We need
that's
that.
Just it is that like we got to get those things unlocked because it for every one of those figures there's new tooling plates, there's new molds that have to be cut, so they do cost more. People keep saying, oh, you should have unlocked them all. You should have put these ahead of these ones. That's not really how it works. I mean, ultimately, like we've put all the stretch goals as close together as we possibly could. There was no way that we could just do it all unless we just did a huge funding goal that like, and then there was like no fun. It's like, here's the project and we could just go home because there wouldn't be anything to reveal, there wouldn't be anything to talk about. It would all be sort of right there and out there. And so yeah, it's we're in that mid section where very often, whether it's a HasLab or another Kickstarter or whatever crowdfunded project, you tend to see a decelerated sort of slope to the curve to the funding.
What is that helmet that Spike Spectre comes with?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can absolutely show you that. We haven't really had a really slow down. We've seen just consistent day over day, like there's still numbers coming in.
And I mean, it's cool.
I think it's largely because the stuff looks good and we're doing a bunch of videos and like we're trying to like get out there and like talk to people and answer questions and show this thing off, so it's sort of like we're doing everything we can to kind of keep things going, keep the ball rolling, keep up the momentum. But we need backers. We need you out there, whether you're watching live or watching the replay or whatever. We need the backers to kind of step up and sort of get their pledges in, because without the pledges we will not, the Kickstarter won't fund and we might not have a toy line. So to that point too, Big Bad Toy Store and ecollectibles.ca have these figures listed for pre-order. We will not have a retailer bump. We talked to those retailers before we launched the Kickstarter, and told them, if you guys are on board, we're happy to have you. We don't want you to burden you, we don't want to burden you with the financial responsibility of this. So we don't want you to pre-order something that we can't sort of prove to you there's support for. So we're not going to see a retailer bump. This is a purely sort of organic crowdfunding campaign. Backers need to back this in order for it to crowdfund. This isn't a big bad toy store funded project, and we never wanted it to be that. We wanted this to be something that backers can feel like they're a part of. The backers will be the people that fund this project, and to that point, we are so appreciative of anything that people can contribute, whether it's $1, whether it's an all-in, whether they're backing multiple all-ins or whatever. We appreciate anybody that is sort of here to support us and support the line and support the company. This is the launch of a company. I should mention that as well. This is the Nameless Toy Company. We're launching the Nameless Universe, and Space Zombies from Mars is sort of the first episode, if you want to call it that. It's sort of the first line, but we have other lines planned. We have other waves planned for Space Zombies from Mars. We got lots planned, but we're not sort of showing that stuff. We're not sort of getting all that stuff out there, because if we don't make these, we're not making those either. So it's a little presumptuous of us if we would just start being like, yeah, we want to do this and we want to do this. It's like, we want to do lots of things, but here's what we're doing now. So
So this I wanted to show off, and again, this is the Nameless Toy Company.
That's secret. You're not supposed to show that.
It's on the IG.
Where did you find that?
On the IG, folks. They might be.
That was in the classified file. Yeah.
Well, I'm spilling the tea here. I'm getting the secrets out. So make sure you head over to the Nameless Toy Company on IG and give them a follow.
Absolutely.
Certain things are leaking, like some of these very shadowed items on the Kickstarter page. So, just look at that. That is gorgeous. And if you want
to pull that back up, I can tell people kind of what they're looking at there. So those are a couple of the things that are behind shadows. So from left to right, that's the alternate shadowed head for Spike Spectre. The neck piece is on its side, but it's sort of like a severed head with sort of blood and sort of
exploding blood
stuff shooting out of the top. Then you get an alternate zombified Guy Garrison head and an alternate zombified Julius Stryker head. And as you can see in the background there, although I cleverly sort of made sure it was out of focus, don't even bother trying. You won't be able to figure it out. There's like a whole bunch more head sculpts and zombie parts and gore bits.
See a little zombie screaming reaction right here. I mean,
the front two rows are stuff that is sort of seen in the Kickstarter.
Yeah,
the other stuff is back there that I don't even think with like really fancy software you'd be able to like figure out what it is.
Oh, we've got some fancy.
But maybe somebody will. I mean, it wasn't an accident that it was in the background, but it was.
Well, you got me and Jeff right now, just like, oh, can we?
We've got some questions here in the chat. I'd like to bring up.
Sure.
The first one's from Carlo, who just backed and says, "Is there a backer kit afterwards?"
The plan as of right now is to run a backer kit. Now, my understanding is that Kickstarter has something like a backer kit now, but I'm not super familiar with it. I've run multiple backer kits, both for projects that I've been like directly involved with, and for projects that people ran that didn't want to bother with backer kits. So they reached out to me and had them sort of work on them. So I'm super familiar with backer kit and very, very comfortable with that. So at the moment, I'm leaning towards backer kit. But there will be sort of like an after Kickstarter, thing, because we need to figure out, people's choices for like, well, if you back for 4 zombies, which 4 zombies do you want?
Yeah. Gotcha.
We have to get addresses, things like that. We have to do the shipping and all that kind of stuff.
With the after backer kit, I know some funding gets additionally added. Is that something you guys are going to look for to do unlocks and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, we will, whatever funds during the Kickstarter, like the Kickstarter has to fund. That's right. Sort of the bottom line. It's like if the Kickstarter doesn't fund, there's no backer kit. So it's a moot point. Assuming the Kickstarter funds, we will definitely sort of count the backer kit funds towards, unlocks. The only unfortunate thing with that is that Kickstarter and backer kit don't work quite the same way. So Kickstarter works on just a $1. You're filling up a gas tank Whereas backer kit, you can't have unlocks that way. Their unlocks are based on units. So it's a little bit clumsy, but basically the way that we'll probably do it is just introduce more things into the backer kit as the funding comes in, if that makes sense.
What about I know you said like the Big Bad Toy Store numbers wouldn't go towards like it funding, but once it's funded, will those numbers go towards the unlocks?
No, those numbers are effectively kind of like we used some of those numbers to sort of adjust our funding goals to keep our funding goals as low as we possibly could. Now they might come through and go, hey, we want twice as much as we thought we did.
Okay.
In which case, you know, we would theoretically be able to just like open some of those unlocks in the backer kit, just based on like, you know, if they said, hey, we want so many units of this, and it would sort of bump us over what we need. That might absolutely be a possibility. But I can't stress this enough. We have to hit that funding goal first. That's like the minimum threshold where we can afford to like cut molds. We're not, you know, there's no buffer for like a vacation to Tahiti for any of us. This is purely like,
I wish.
I wish too. I need a vacation. I'm going to WonderCon actually, so I guess I do get a vacation that I have to work at. But anyways, the threshold for the Kickstarter is like we have to hit that threshold. It's 170,000 Canadian. I think it's about 120 US, a little less than 120 US.
Okay.
Once we hit that, you know, I mean, everything's kind of in play. Like I said, the stretch goals are there to sort of get us a little bit further along, and they're there in some ways also to sort of allow us to sort of put something towards like wave 1.5, wave 2. But, you know, the unlocks could potentially be a little bit more fluid once we got there. But we really absolutely need to hit that funding goal, that initial funding goal, before anything can happen.
Gotcha.
Let's fund it.
Terrence is asking if you've sent shipping notices yet.
I sent Terrence's shipping notice, yes.
Okay.
But he can expect his figures to arrive in to Florida. That's pretty far away from here. So like 8 years, probably.
Okay. That sounds about fair. Yeah, I mean, they're coming from
Or
Mars.
he can pick them up at a con, probably. He's going to be at all of the cons. So
I heard he was actually picking up everybody.
He's picking up everybody.
Yeah, he's picking up for everybody.
Our fulfillment is
he's
basically
hand delivering them.
Terrence is going to come to my house in Western Canada, pick up all the figures, and deliver each of them to everybody like Santa Claus.
Man, that's one heck of a wagon he's going to be bringing.
It's actually Terrence's new full-time gig is delivering toys to the entire community all year long.
Terrence.
There you go.
Yeah, you want to know how much shipping's going to cost? Ask Terrence because he's delivering it.
How much is his gas?
Feel free to message Terrence with all your Space Zombies from Mars fulfillment cost questions.
William wants to know if the soundtrack is going to be available on A-Track. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. He says CD. CD.
CDs, 8-track, probably about the same likelihood.
Okay.
Zero
probably
likelihood.
keep it to vinyl as far as physical copies. And then at some point, you might be able to get it on a streaming service or something down the line. But as it is, we'll be sending the digital copies to you, and you'll have to listen to it on your computer or something like that. And then and then record players.
Do we get a digital copy? Like, how soon do we get the digital copy?
Pump the brakes, Oz. Soon enough. You get it soon enough.
Wow.
I want to listen to some music because I was looking when I was making the post for tonight. I was like, where can I find some music for this? Because they've got it.
I'm trying to figure out how to post like clips onto the Kickstarter, but I'm not smart enough to figure it out. So Ira cut clips, and I just can't figure out how to get them to work.
I did a little bit of.
I should try it then.
I did a little bit of detective work, and when I made this post, I went all the way over to the Prometheus IG page and saved some original audio from Ira's fine, nice synthesizer he was messing around with, and I used that.
Oh, cool.
You could probably do like little shorts or something and throw them up on the Instagram, something like that.
So that's the way that I think it has to work, because like Kickstarter is weird. Like you can't just embed an audio track; it has to be supported on a URL. Which I was like, well, where do I post
That's
these
awkward.
so that I can
you gotta
pull them?
Post
like
URLs.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
so next question comes
YouTube
from.
videos.
That's basically what I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's what I did with our intro video. It's actually secretly posted on my YouTube channel. And fun fact, I didn't know how it worked if somebody stole your content until very recently. I posted that, and so it's sort of out there, and people started using it. And I started getting these messages from YouTube that were like copyright strike things, and I was like, "What did I do? Like, I don't understand." And then it was like, "Oh, it turns out it's my content that people start stealing. You have to like approve it." And I was like, "No, they can use it. Everybody can use it.
Please use it more.
Yes, please share it everywhere. If you have a YouTube channel or whatever, like, steal that video and share it and get it out there."
Well, and people should remember that you're just a guy that loves toys.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's as much as I could come up with.
That's it. That's all it is, folks.
Really see more. There's no more. That's
really
it. That's all I. That's all I
you
put
click
in there.
see
That's
more,
my
and it's just a picture of Adam giving the bird.
It's just some guy whose name is Seymour.
They should have a question marks like Seymour. Is there any? When I was putting the Kickstarter campaign together, they said it wasn't complete, and I couldn't figure out why. And they're like, you have to have a bio, and I was like, that's not important. Like nobody cares about me. That's not the point of this. I just put that in there just to have something in there.
You see that right away on the page. It's
I know. It's like great at the top.
Well, a good friend of the show who used to join us before we made fun of him too much and he stopped. Dylan here says,
before Curtis did. Go easy on that Wii stuff, buddy.
Said, have you ever considered putting King Kong in one of those spacesuits? Now, obviously, King Kong would be a protected property, but what about just like an ape in a spacesuit? Is this something that is a possibility in this world or what?
I'm going to say nothing's off the table.
Nothing's
off the table, but the Kickstarter has to fund first.
Yeah, what I will say this, because we've not done a good job of saying this, but this is like absolutely a reality. So I don't know why we haven't. It's not like we've been hiding it, but we've just been like hinting at it. So Chris Garwich is our project manager. So these are being made in the same factory as Mythic Legions. These are being made in the same factory as Monster Force, Operation Monster Force. Which is also, to the best of my knowledge, the same factory where they're making the what's the monkey like in a suit that they're making. So theoretically, if our figures are compatible with the fresh, is that what it's called? Just called the Fresh Monkey?
They're called the Fresh Monkeys.
In theory, if you can get an astronaut suit and you can get that figure with the monkey head, they would be 100% compatible.
Nice.
So we don't need to, because somebody else
it's already an option.
Because you could just do it.
So, and you don't even need our permission to do that. You can just do that if you have the toys.
I can do what I want with my toys.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
I think we should have like
so
a consent form.
Like
it looks like
there's like a waiver that you have to sign before you open.
What do you plan on? What heads do you plan on using with these?
Do you
bodies?
promise not to swap the monkey head onto the astronaut?
Are you gonna be sneaky like Sony Entertainment and put it in terms of service? I will not alter this product.
I'll be honest. I've been buying way more Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff because I know that it's going to be compatible, and I'm already like, okay,
getting
this
a couple
extra
extra Monster Force.
I'm gonna have this. Yeah, I'm gonna have like. Don't you want vampires in space? Like, I know Space Zombies from Mars is great, but you can go like further than that. Like you can go off book. You can go sort of headcanon and be like, well, if zombies are out there and there's like these different sort of things going on, why can't there be, like a vampire who can like control himself, who's also an astronaut, like
why
equal opportunity astronaut space program. You could have a monkey in space. You could have a vampire in
Oh
space.
shit! You just did it. So a lot of people in the community know if you hit the like button, Trevor shows up. What a lot of people don't know is if you say monkey 12 times, Dylan just pops in. So hey, Dylan,
what's up?
Yeah. We hit our.
Hey, Dylan.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, and you don't have to answer, but I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to follow my own question with a comment, just so that. So, did you back the campaign? Because Robo is a big fan of the line. Just saying.
Wow.
He might hair flip for you, Dylan.
Robo.
Not yet, but I'm going to. I do have to correct Curtis on something. Shocker. King Kong is public domain because the novel is public domain. So technically, you could put King Kong in a spacesuit for me.
We could, but that would be a very big spacesuit.
I mean, you know, you get the
like ogre scale.
Spiro, you put the spacesuit. It'll make it work.
Dylan is really hot right
we
now.
play nice with those guys. So if we play nice enough, you know, maybe at some point down the line we could borrow a mold from them and go that route. I don't know.
Or the Monster Force Bigfoot, that could work for me too.
Yeah, that one I may be incorrect, but I think they borrowed that.
Oh, you know what they did? That's Memory Toys, I think.
Yeah, so that might be there might be too many layers to that borrowing.
Possibility.
Did have another question here from a Kenzo Creations. Do you even want Motu fans? Are you okay with Motu fans backing this?
I don't know what a Motu is.
That's your He-Mans, Adam. Your He-Mans.
Yeah, your He-Mans. Yeah, your
He-Mans. Yeah, Kenzo knows that. Like for me, Motu is like such a weird thing. They're just He-Mans. I have a bin full of He-Mans right behind me.
But no Princess of Power. No.
So are you okay if He-Mans fans?
I just ordered back this morning.
Yeah. Would it be He-Man fans? He-Mans fans?
New
He-Mans.
Yeah, is it He-Mans fans? Are you okay with them backing?
Yeah, He-Mans fans.
Okay.
I get it from the Todd father. I get it from the top.
So I think he wants to know, is there a bare-chested zombie in the mix with just the spacesuit bottoms? That's probably what he's asking.
See, you could buy the spacesuit, Kenzo. You could back the figure, and since you do creations, I know you do a lot of custom work. You can do what you want with your toys. They already said it.
Now I will say this, you know, going back to my earlier point of we have other plans.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Kickstarter to get the kind of that sort of main suited buck made.
Mm-hmm.
But the full zombie has been sculpted.
Ooh,
you heard
it
here.
Just a little teaser of like, you know, what we could potentially do in the future. You know, so when people are like, you should do this, we're kind of like
little tease.
Way ahead of you.
And it's already been sculpted, but
we'll do what we
need to
want
get
with
there.
our toys.
So like if they're like, you should sculpt a bear zombie butt, and you're like, oh, let me tell you,
2 butt cheeks.
Yeah,
that was the first thing.
Check my internet search history.
Yeah, it's anatomically correct.
Anatomy of zombie buttocks. Yeah.
Well, I know we were talking earlier about Terrence doing your deliveries for you. Gina also would like to know if she can be an employee studio person.
Yeah, when we do up the t-shirts, we'll make sure to get you guys some.
Okay,
it's a package deal.
Yeah, it is a package deal.
Yeah, that's 2 t-shirts. Yeah, that's like a default. Yeah.
She's got to pull the wagon around, and he's got to be out there, out front, taking all the credit. He's
the one handing them out.
Shower me with praise, people. Shower me with praise.
I have a question on the Kickstarter page. There have been some Kickstarters in the past where they only put the digital renders out there. Are you going to update with the painted prototypes at all? Or are we going to see?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, I've got a few of them on my desk right now. I just have to get them together and photographed. So Arlen did them all and mailed them to me, and I've been so busy kind of doing everything else that I neglected to like put them together and take pictures of them. As I said last night, I took those pictures that we showed of the scale. That was important because I've kind of promised to get that out this weekend. And then over the next couple of days, I'm going to get these figures, together, photographed, and get those pictures up because they look, as I said, they look phenomenal. And I'll probably do in the same way that I did that sort of scale. I'll probably do, all the paint masters that we have, and then do some sort of closer up shots. Now they are paint masters, so they're not perfect, and people will sort of see the little details where printed parts don't move as well, so like straps have split or something like that. But that's what samples look like.
Beautiful.
No, it gives everybody a better understanding that going from a digital to a physical thing. So
yeah, I mean that's a very, very good point. And I mean the STL files are all like dialed and ready to go to the factory. We kind of went back and forth about actually getting our like a check model done before the Kickstarter campaign, and we effectively just kind of ran out of time because we launched in March, with Chinese New Year taking up kind of the 6 weeks right before we launched. We would have had to get the request in for the check model that much earlier, and we just didn't, which is on us. But the check, we could order a check model tomorrow, but it wouldn't show up in time to be revealed during the campaign. So we just kind of decided to wait until after the campaign, and then as I said, as soon as this funds, we basically send the files off and we get the check model going. So we're well on the way to getting these things manufactured, a lot more so than it might seem when you just see a 3D render or even just a paint master, because they're just 3D printed and then painted. Arlen actually has a functioning 3D printed model.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not here, so we could show you, but he's not here.
Yeah.
It's also an older model, so it's actually improved
Alarm.
since
Curtis
it's
is about
improved
to
since
blow
he
away.
did that model.
Cool.
So this is the moment in the show where I translate everything that Adam just said. Some of you may not understand Canadian, so I'll translate. What he said, Jeff, was you can get a good look at a steak by sticking your head up a bull's ass, but wouldn't you rather take the butcher's word for it? That's what he said. So
that's more or less what I said.
Yeah. Tommy Boy's great.
How long have you been waiting to use that line, Curtis?
About 3 minutes.
Tommy Boy.
About 3 minutes. Yeah.
I have some of the paint masters on my desk. I can show you if you want to see what they look like.
Yes.
Jeff wants that word guarantee slapped on the box.
Right on the zombie cheek.
And
we're gonna have to
Amber alert.
Get rid of that tornado.
Gotta embiggen Adam here so we get a good look at this.
I'm just expecting at any moment for Curtis to just fly away spinning.
So the neck is like loose, so it's like a bobblehead. So that's the
I was
only
gonna say I didn't know they were bobbleheads.
Man, that's a good looking action figure though. Holy moly.
Yeah. And I was
can you do a
looking at
full
the
Linda
articulation points. Is it butterfly
Yeah.
shoulders? Okay.
Yeah.
Look pretty cool with a monkey head on it. Oh, I'm saying.
It would.
It will.
Some AWOC back
will.
here. You might be able to throw one on real quick.
The heads don't come off.
I don't know that Adam has any AWOC. I'm not sure. Does he,
Yeah, he's not
collect
into that.
those?
This is zombie.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Very
Look
cool.
at that grotesque goodness.
You get like the arms with all the blood and.
Ooh.
I love the way the pant legs are cut off. It's cool.
Arlen's not here,
that's
so he would tell you that a lot of his the sculpting, the inspiration for some of the sculpts is actually movie prosthetics. So if you look at some of the faces, he's sort of based them on like as if a human was wearing like horror movie prosthetics.
Oh,
right?
Awesome.
And then he's also based other ones on like the sort of the puppet models that they would use in horror movies. So it's very like it's got a kind of a retro sort of pre-CGI feel to it.
Nice.
Awesome.
Which is perfect for somebody like me because I am a big fan of that.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I really love the aesthetic of these. You know, it makes me think like how much I'd love a movie, and I think through our toy photography we can kind of capture some of that feeling. But like I remember when that old Doom movie came out, like these toys are what I wish that movie had been, you know, aesthetic wise and feeling wise, you know. I think that.
Oh boy!
Wow!
Nice. There
That's
you go,
what I'm
Dylan.
talking about.
It doesn't.
Calm down, Dylan.
It doesn't
Put your
sit
pants
on
back
there.
on, buddy.
It doesn't sit on. It'll sit. It would sit lower if I kind of forced
Right,
it. But
right.
Cool.
So that's just your basic idea, though, Dylan. There
I
you
can make
go.
that work.
if you want the red suit guys are kind of the bad guys, so I got a bad guy head that I could put on the bad guy suit too. But it doesn't sit very well.
So
I'll have to hold it.
When you guys had, you know,
oh yeah, that's
perfect.
Oh, that looks so good.
I like that. That's like Planet of the Apes, like
right, Caesar, right there. 100%.
Yeah, you just sold that one right there. Yeah.
No,
I have to modify these ones to get the heads on the paint master, so I'll try to modify them enough that I can post a picture with an ape head on one.
That's
hey,
like
you know what? It'll help sell
it. The apes go back in time to Earth, and they're in spacesuits.
So,
the third
you
one.
know, what was it like? Right around last year is when you guys kind of started showing this stuff off at Joe Fest, I believe.
Yeah, Arlen and I went to Joe Fest, and that's where we actually met Adam.
Yeah, that was, you know, all the guys went down to Joe Fest. I didn't make it last year, and they're coming back talking about this sweet new Space Zombie line, and I'm like, wait, what? I need to hear more about all of this. So then we find out Adam's involved, and you know, it's just kind of like, so when's it going to happen? And you know, he's doing his job, making sure not to talk too much about it at first while you guys were getting everything going. But I've been on the edge of my seat waiting, and as it was creeping closer, and there's the countdown going when you guys finally had the IG set up for TNT, and then of course he goes and hits me with a 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time launch. The day before I was expecting the launch, I was all surprised. But totally
I said
happy
March
about
1st. I never said Saturday.
You totally
people
did.
People
you
just
were very
put
clear.
words in my
You
mouth,
said
and I was just
March
like
1st. You never said what time zone that was going to be, and I thought that was one of the most clever parts of the whole thing. It was just 7 hours earlier than I thought.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But that's okay.
So yeah, folks, go to Kickstarter. Go ahead and back this if you're you know, interested in the slightest bit. Go ahead and back this because there's no reason to wait. Yeah, just put your money in now. Get it. You know, they're not going to take it yet. Just, you know, but the soundtrack sounds awesome. I love the way that you know, just that emotional vibe that you'll get from it. You got some zombies, you got some you know, astronauts and stuff like this. This is super cool. So, and you know what, good people too. And who doesn't like supporting good people, right? Beautiful. Well, we appreciate you guys joining us for this. We are going to move into our kind of normal part of the show where we do show pickups, and we got some other stuff to discuss. You're more than welcome to stay with us, but I know you've also been doing a lot of different shows, so if you need some rest or got to go, I totally understand that as well. So, but we appreciate you being on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
having
much
us
for
on.
having us. As I said, you know, this is, you know, very much a crowdfunded project. So, you know, any chance that we get to share this with people, you know, is supportive for us, and you know, Carlo back. So that's phenomenal, right? Like we got something out of this. Not that we needed to. Like I said, you know, just being able to get out here and talk about the project is you know, would have been enough.
I'm going to be adjusting my backing actually by the end of this weekend.
Now that you know that the monkey heads fit. Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, not even just about the monkey.
If Dylan doesn't back this tonight after you specifically
Dylan just left to go back it. He has to go on another device to back it.
Dylan just left to go to the restroom. That's how excited he is about it.
But guess what he's going to do while he's there? I mean, don't actually
guess that? He's going to back the campaign.
Back the campaign.
He's totally going to back the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, you guys probably don't know, but that's where he backs all his campaigns. bathroom.
He backed the dragon in there last week, so
he makes all of the important decisions in his life in the bathroom. So
I'm gonna be.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
I'm definitely going to be upping that to the prepare to launch all in.
Very nice.
That's happening.
You know, I gotta say too, because I'm also a D&D guy and a game master, and these toys have me feeling like I want to run a space game.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
That sounds cool.
Horror themed, because
hey, if
these guys, I've only ran D&D for these guys,
right.
So I try to keep the horror theme down. But
if you do it like a Legion's Quest, if you do it online, let me know.
Let me know.
Yeah.
And let me know.
I'd love to play. Yeah.
So if I did it would
throw me in too.
Expect it to be like a one shot.
Yeah,
not everybody's going to make
perfect. That's the amount of time that I have.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, absolutely.
One shot to test it.
That's awesome.
But, that could be something really fun. And
I love the horror games.
I see that aesthetic, and it's just, you know, the light flashing in the hallway, and you know, is it an injured astronaut down the hallway, or is it something else? We're just not sure. And you know, and I get such a vibe from this.
Yeah, one more thing about the lore that you know, we don't always cover it because it's not kind of explicitly a lore point, but all the figures come with accessories based on, you know, their function within the mission. So you know, Guy Garrison comes with firearms because he's you know, from the military faction, but not because they anticipate that they're going to need it, just because, you know, in a mission like that you need to be prepared. Right. But you know, the medical guy comes with a bone saw, the engineer comes with a drill, the science officer comes with, you know, mechanical arms to like pick things up and kind of manipulate things, but they don't come with weapons. So, you know, part of the fun of this is like, well, what do you do when you get to Mars unprepared for zombies? Yeah. What are you going to use to defend yourself?
Use what you got.
And you might think, oh, a buzzsaw, like, or a bone saw, I'll totally fight zombies with that. I would not want to be anywhere within biting distance.
Don't want to get that close.
Zombies.
You really don't. Everybody thinks fire's a great idea. You know
I would
what
be tying.
When you light a zombie on fire, you get a flaming.
You get a flaming zombie.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I would be tying a rope to that buzzsaw and throwing it at him and then pulling it back real fast. You know.
Yeah.
Forget that noise. But yeah, that's part of the fun. I think we're going to see a lot of. Right, there you go. I think we're going to see a lot of really fun horror photography from these, and I really can't wait to see it. You know, all those cool sci-fi dios and.
I was going to say that extreme sets, kind of like Space Command Dio, like all darkened out with
like
little.
I have one, but I need another one now. There's another one.
I want like a little. I want like a little space dune buggy for one of these, like to ride around in.
Without a doubt, because when they get to Mars, what are they going to do? Walk everywhere?
Yeah.
It's really hard to run away from zombies in low gravity. You know, right? You know, so.
Awesome.
Oh, Dylan's back. He just backed the campaign, everybody.
Nope, just the pipes.
You made him put monkey heads on it, and you still haven't backed it. Come on, man.
Listen,
disappointed.
That's rough.
I got a lot of. There's a dragon, and you guys are gonna have to give me a.
Wait, there's a dragon.
There's
but you already paid for your dragon.
Yeah.
The dragon's done, buddy. We're moving on to the next project.
Yeah, that's old news, man. All right. Well, it is now time for show pickups, which I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Payload, people. So as always, we're going to start with Joe. Joe, what do you got for us, sir?
Well, I got in my graveyard zombie skeletons this week. That was all I got this week was these, but holy cow, these are cool. Just
they're
super
neat,
fun.
They look good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Hey,
just
Joe,
having fun playing with them.
I haven't gotten mine yet. Can you put that skull mask on a orc head? Do you have one around by?
I do have one around.
I don't know if it.
I will.
I mean, you can make it work, I'm sure, but it's pretty tight fitting around the skeleton.
Is it?
Yeah.
I will give that a shot while everybody else is showing off their stuff.
Okay.
So.
All right.
But that's all I got for this week is just my graveyard skeletons. So.
All right. Peace out, guys.
All right. Have
Thanks,
a good
Ira.
one. Yeah.
All right.
Good luck,
Thank you for being here and joining us.
Take care. Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Absolutely.
Cheers. See you guys.
Jeff Ray, what do you got?
Um,
Oh, it went back to Joe. There we go. I don't know what happened.
It loves me, Curtis.
There you go. We got John. Jeff.
Okay. So I'm building Nemesis, and I got the first.
You did it again. Are you hitting something, Joe? What is going on?
Yeah,
I just hit the stop cam. That's all I'm doing.
Well, stop stopping the cam. It loves you right now. I don't know what is going on.
I don't blame it. I'm wonderful.
It's that stash, man.
Jeff, put Jeff on again.
Sweet stash.
Here, let's try this again. Let's try it this way. Okay, we're good. We're good, Jeff. I think it's staying.
Damn, I was hoping it would do it one more time.
I'm building Marvel's Nemesis.
Okay.
Big skeleton in a space suit esque thing. So
If you don't want
first one
the
is
Gambit, Jeff, just saying.
What Gambit is like the #1 thing that I want coming. It goes Gambit, Nightcrawler, and
that's all I want from that wave.
Baby.
Yeah.
I'm getting the parts for Cyclops, Marrow, and Husk from Trolls of Grayskull. Got my leather head.
Nice.
Leather head. Yep.
Very nice.
Great figure.
Let's see some Necro. Oh, Sir Elijah.
Very nice.
Oh yeah.
Great figure.
One of the best.
A Sir Gideon.
Nice. Joe Gonzalez.
Just the mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Knights Packs.
Mm-hmm.
And Spexy Minor keeps coming.
Ooh.
Terrence wants to know if you still need his Nemesis part from Cyclops.
Yes, I do.
All
Yes, I
right.
do. If you were the one that we were talking about. There's like 2 people. I think
Yeah,
Terrence
Jeff's got
is
so
one.
many deals he's wheeling. He has no idea. So
I don't know how he keeps track.
I don't know.
He's just waiting for his next big return.
See, the
so
secret that you don't know, Adam, is that everything that Jeff shows, he never opens. He just returns it. It's just so that he can like
just for
show
pickups.
Off. Yeah, just for off-world pickups. Yeah.
This will not be getting returned. Again, thank you to Terrence and Gina for going to Zolocon and picking up for a lot of people in the community.
Oh, so many.
My barbarian
Nice.
came in.
Nice.
Beautiful.
It's a gorgeous figure. I mean, a really ugly, gorgeous figure.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I'm stoked to open that up. And then last but not least, I got one of those mystery boxes.
Ooh.
And got myself a Silverhead Steel Brigade.
Nice.
Very cool.
Very cool. Gotta like that.
Kind of has
back metal.
some space zombie from Mars feels to it. So I
little
can't
bit.
wait to have this guy next to that.
Feels
Arlen
a little,
may or may not have sculpted that body too. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It feels
I
a
know
little
that he's
Cops and
done some of
Crooks
the
to me.
Action Force stuff.
Doesn't it feel like it's got a Cops and Crooks vibe?
Oh, it could have cops and
bit.
cops and crooks too.
I'm so excited for that line.
Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait.
Coming back.
Yep.
And that's it for this week.
All right. I'm going to see if this works. We're going to put Oz over here. We're going to see if Joe
Wait,
takes
wait,
over.
hold
All
on.
right.
Oh,
Damn it.
clearly we fixed it, or it just appreciates my beard more than Joe's mustache. So
In my bed.
Trevor says, you safe where you are, Curtis. I have not been taken away by a tornado as of yet. If you see me whoosh off the screen, then
camera goes black.
It'll be stuck with Oz here because Joe has no idea how to do the buttons.
I don't know what buttons do, but I will
goes
go.
to Oz if
Oh
he gets
no,
swept up by a
Curtis!
tornado.
Come back.
Look,
Come
Curtis,
back.
just to let you know, if in case you get sucked up in a tornado and you end up somewhere, all you have to do is tap your heels 3 times.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And you'll
go to Oz.
taken back. You'll
Oz would know.
come hang out with me for a while, and I'll ship
I'll
you
come
back
right to
Darla or
Oz's
something.
house.
There
Okay.
you go. You guys heard it. That's how it works.
Very nice.
Tap your 3, but you have to go through the tornado first. You can't just tap your heels 3 times and teleport here. You got to go travel by tornado first, but on the automatic spawn point afterwards. So you just
what a lot of people don't know is that there's several folks that have just accidentally tapped their heels 3 times and got him to 1,000 subscribers. That's how it works.
That's what did it. That's what did it.
Yeah,
it was pretty much it. Chain email, something I heard about that. I don't know. So for me this week, besides a headache with all of that, I didn't really get much in the way of pickups. I know I was playing around with this guy on Saturday night. Took some armor from another figure and a little cape, put it on there, really making this guy look more like Conan.
I do know you have something on the way, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to make it in a decent time. So.
Nah, I don't think it'll be here. My last look said it'll be here by Monday, and since everybody's going to be really trashed Monday, I'm not even sure that's going to happen.
So what I can tell you is that the box weighs almost 12 pounds.
Oh, jeez.
So
yeah, okay.
So that's
I hope
all
it makes it
now.
here in one piece. At that
That's all I'll give you right now.
with rocks.
Considering I know what went into that box as far as like what the initial item was, there's a lot more in that box.
It'll be an interesting one. Yeah.
But then I got this other really cool D&D character.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Oh, look, it's a purple dildo with a crab on it.
Still don't. Still don't. It's got crabs.
Oh, no, dildo.
Yeah. Now, that's the D&D Vecna character. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
He's like an evil character in D&D. I think Joe probably knows about him.
I think he knows a little bit.
I think I know about Curtis.
Oh, okay.
And this show, I can't say what I'm thinking right now about Curtis. Guy.
Do we want to talk Curtis and D&D?
But
I mean, I got to say that Motu, Vecna, it may not be the ideal one. Yeah, that one there that Joe wanted, but it's definitely better than the one we got from Super 7, right?
Which is not at all. So,
right, exactly.
So getting one is better than not getting one at all.
Right.
Yes,
I agree.
I agree. And
I don't know. What
I have
Vecna
no
is,
Vecna.
but that looks like Joe's vein to me.
Now,
like
I will
what?
say this though.
If I'll speak for Joe, that's Graddick's Bane catching you soon on a Legion's quest near you.
Yes. Graddick is going to get crabs on the next Legion's
quest. G wants to know if you've already picked up that Vecna, Joe. He did $100 super chat and 99 cents.
Does Joe G have that Vecna? That's not Vecna, G. That's not Vecna. That's why they're poking fun at me, because that's a pretend TV character. That is not Dungeons and Dragons Vecna.
I believe that
is an
that
imposter.
The package does say that it's Vecna, correct?
It's a purple imposter.
I don't
pretending
have the box to prove it.
He's
anymore.
like, ooh, here's a cool skeleton guy with the Book of Vile Darkness in his chest. I'll just take his name.
Hashtag. There's a hashtag.
Hashtag not Joe's Vecna.
No,
I was gonna say Adam started the campaign. Hashtag not Joe's Vecna.
That's not anybody's Vecna. It's not Vecna.
Well, actually, Joe, how is Vecna supposed to be spelt? Because if G might be talking about a different character there.
Oh yeah,
well, he can talk about that character who is not Vecna. So
yeah, that's Vecna.
Spell it however you want, because it's not.
Right. I mean, there was Zodak with the C, and then there was Zodak with the K. So
yeah, and they're different characters.
They can definitely swing both ways. We got no idea what's going on.
But they were both Zodak. He's not Vecna. So.
I would like to shout G out for a second as well. He posted that he got Necronominus today. And I commented, "What's on the forehead?" And he goes, "It's a crown."
That's true.
I totally forgot. I didn't look on mine either.
True.
It's what's underneath the crown on the forehead. So you got to put all the details.
So I said, "What's in the forehead?" And then he got it. But
gotcha.
But as long as I don't take the crown off of mine, I have all three.
That's
it's
true.
Schrodinger's. It's Schrodinger's
cat, and I'm okay with that. Whereas Joe has to like make sure that he has all three. And if somebody's like, I think mine's different than those three, Joe's like, I need that one too.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing though, is that I don't have to. There's this weird malfunction in my brain where I actually want to, you know. They're like, ooh, I have an excuse to buy more figures. Let's go.
Adam quoted this a while ago when I was watching one of his live streams before I even started hanging out with him regularly. It was one of the most beautiful things ever. And since then, I've had this Adam sit on my shoulder to remind me we don't need any.
No.
Yeah.
But we really do like to have what we
absolutely.
And that's the point.
Curtis, blow me up again.
There we go.
Since my little trick won't work anymore.
Are you going to show your Motu Vecna? I will lose my shit. I will absolutely lose my shit.
I don't. Those words that you said don't make any sense. I'm not even understanding them. No, I was going to show the skull on an orc.
Ooh.
So it fits, but it's offset by their tusks.
Their tusks.
Oh, gotcha.
So like it's a little bit.
So
off.
expect a modified version of that by tomorrow.
Yeah, like if you trimmed the tusks, it would fit perfectly. I think.
I would think more about trimming the mask around the tusks. Actually, rather trim the mask around the tusks.
Cut out a couple teeth.
But even this works, and with the little guard there, you can barely even tell that it's offset a little bit. So it works pretty good, I think.
When I saw those masks in that pack, I was like, "Ooh, now I have some headgear for my unhelmeted orcs."
Yeah. Interesting to note, though, the one with the beard has more of a pinhead. Like it doesn't.
Oh, no kidding! I didn't know. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's
I guess if you grow a beard, your head shrinks.
Maybe
that's not true. That's not true at all. My head's gotten bigger as I've gone.
You're not an orc, though.
Oh, no, that is true.
I'm not.
That is true.
I'm just a bear.
Orc physiology.
Not with that
shrink
attitude.
as they get older.
Yeah.
I'm a bear. I don't even need to be an orc.
So I'm gonna need some help with this one. I know my inability to read is well documented on this show. So I'm gonna need some help here. If somebody could kind of help me pronounce this character's name. What does that say there? What does that say? On the
Joe,
top?
can you read that out? I know you're literate.
No, they could put whatever they want. They could put purple dildo with crabs on there, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't make that Vecna.
I have a name. God.
I'm pretty. hey, Oz, didn't you pick up this character?
I totally picked up that character. I got him right here. That says Vesna.
Oh, it's Vesna. Okay,
it's like a Vespa,
yeah, he's
but
Italian.
less cool.
He's Italian.
Does he come with a leg lamp?
Yeah, he'd go really well with a leg lamp.
Can I very quickly show a couple things, and then I'm going to take off because I don't have another engagement.
We'll put you up next anyway. Video. First off, wait, before you go. If you pull up a fucking Motu Vecna,
I wish I had one.
I swear, it would be the best moment in YouTube history.
If I had one, I promise you, it would have been. It would have been showing it.
All right.
No, I got my Necronomicon stuff. This is the only one I have left that I haven't opened yet. Not because of any other reason than I just ran out of time. I'm very, very excited by this guy. And then I got one other thing. I got my Sexy Rat King, which I nice. I'm torn because
I like that.
Because when they revealed Sexy Rat King, I was like, not my Rat King, and then they took it away from us, and I was like, but wait, maybe
I want that Rat King.
And then they came back and they did deliver, Playmates Rat King and Sexy Rat King. So you can have both.
Right.
But anyway, that's what I got this week.
2 Rat Kings for the price of 1.
2 Rat Kings for the price of 1.
Is Sexy Rat King going to be a late night unboxing?
Very not Sexy Rat King.
Sexy Rat King was my band's names in high school. So
that's a good one, Curtis. Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for having me. Thank you for sort of allowing us to sort of come on here and share. And
absolutely.
Thank you.
I'll talk to most of you again probably very soon.
Absolutely.
Even tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, everybody.
See ya.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, look at that heart. Oh, beautiful.
How Canadian of you, Adam.
Go back to Kickstarter.
All right, Dylan. You are up.
Yeah.
And also, while Dylan's getting ready to show his stuff, if there's anybody in the chat that has a Motu Vecna and they'd like to show it on the stream, let me know and I will send you the link. So.
Vesna. Is it Italian?
Vesna.
What you got, Dylan?
So I also picked up my graveyard skeletons.
Very nice.
Shubsy Wubsy. And while I was there, I picked up my third Gideon.
Oh,
wow.
And my third Elijah, but I put the helmet from the armory on it.
Nice.
Okay.
And then, so after ZoloCon, when I ended up with one barbarian for myself, I reached out to Benny Torres, and he was able to help me get a second one. So I have two barbarians now, but this one, the sword came broken, which I didn't know was a thing that was happening to people. But so I decided to further that, and I nicked up the sword and I broke the shield, and I gave him a battle armor chest plate look with the broken pieces of the shield.
Nice. It looks like he's got a bib on.
Kinda, yeah. A little bit.
It gets a little messy.
It's a bib for blood, Curtis.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's it for me.
What do you mean? What do you mean about the broken sword?
Oh, so I heard about it.
People that's happening to.
I heard about it the day it happened to me.
Okay.
So I opened it, and then the tip. You can't tell with this one because I messed it up even more. But,
are you trying to show us the tip?
No. But the tip of the sword was cracking off in the package because of how tight it was in the plastic. If you push on it the wrong way, and I have a picture of it, but it's not.
It was too tight for the tip.
Yeah. So there was a chip directly in the.
I've never had that happen to me.
Yeah. There was a little notch directly in the tip of this rather familiar shaped sword. So it definitely it was something to look at. But I reached out to customer service. I haven't heard back yet, but I know they're probably really busy right now.
Oh yeah.
I got a lot of broken tips in, maybe.
Maybe. But,
all right.
So, yeah, that's it for me for this week.
Okay, well then I guess that is me then. So I'll start with Barbarian. Open this on Oz's Clubhouse on Saturday. Oz was not on screen because he abandoned me, but that's all right. It's okay. But yeah, fun character. I like it. I think I wasn't sure which hairpiece I was going to go with, but I think I like the black. So yeah, I think go with that. May switch to the Gideon belt. I've seen some people do that with the Gideon. It looks really nice. So I may switch to that. But yeah, great figure. I love how like dirty and grimy he is. Just really great paint job. So
definitely.
I also got my graveyard skeletons in. I traded one of them. So I've only got 3 left, but that's okay. It's well, I got 3 more sets I haven't opened, so don't feel bad for me. But so this is kind of like the one with the fangs, so I guess the vampire-ish one. And I gave him he's got the longer toad.
I did the same thing.
Monster.
Yeah, longer toad and the longer fingered hands. So got that guy. I got this guy that I threw the sword through his chest, and I don't know. I've seen some people do that where they kind of stick a bunch of weapons in the rib cage, and I really like that.
That worked pretty good.
Yeah. So, and then for the third one, I went with the dancing jack-o'-lantern guy. Like he just looks like fun. Give him the little fingers. He does the finger dance, like
he's got that Saturday Night Fever.
he's a fun guy, you know. He's
a fun guy.
He's a mushroom.
Mushroom. And then couldn't finish the week off without some McFarlane. So I didn't know if I was going to get this because I made my own and I really liked my own, but I ended up pulling the trigger and getting a Guy Gardner. So shout out to Nerdzoic. Love going on. Like especially if there's hard to find figures or like, platinum editions or gold edition or whatever that you can't find any of those variants. Nerdzoic usually will have those, and he has them at really good prices too. So got this from him. I love they've got like this hairpiece system. So he's got a couple different hairs. He's got a faceplate thing so he's got like 3 different faceplates, 2 different hairs. Really a lot of cool stuff going on here. I like what's going on here with McFarlane. So I'm gonna ride this train until the end. I'm gonna take all the goodness that he's got coming, including that new Dr. Fate coming out, which is the coolest figure that has been shown ever in the history of figures. So
would you say that McFarlane's DC figures have gotten better since he's been watching what you make custom and then he goes and does it right after?
I mean, I don't think that I'm the Valaverse to Classified in this situation. Like I'm not, I don't think I'm pushing McFarlane to make better figures.
I mean, I don't know. You made that custom, and then look at that, Guy Gardner, and again, you just did your Dr. Fate not too long ago, and it was like the next week he's showing off another Dr. Fate.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just speculating.
I know I'm following him on Instagram. I don't know if he's following me on Instagram, so I would have to take a look.
I think he's subscribed to Art by Ackerman. That's what I think it is.
Gotcha. It might be it. But I know, I did just buy one of the new Batmans, the Azrael Batman that came out. The gold and black one looks really great.
Sweet.
And coming up here in a few weeks, they got the new Superman. They've got the Jim Gordon. They've got the Dr. Fate. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm going to ride this train until there is no more track. So, yep.
And who knows? That track might go on for a while still. It's up in the air a little bit.
That's true.
Things are up in the air. We don't know yet.
Well, we've got another special guest. This is just a night of special guests here. Mm-hmm. We have got the shipping coordinator for Zombies from Mars, Terrence. How's it going?
What's up, Terrence?
Whoa, what's going on, Terrence?
It looks like you got something to show there. What do you got?
Well, I had a bunch of pickups this week, but
this
one right here.
This
one.
Hey, look at that guy.
I've been waiting for a Vecna to come out.
You still are.
Yeah.
You're still waiting, Terrence.
I love all the dongs coming out of his back. That's really cool.
I took the dongs off mine because I didn't want him to be as intimidating. But
I mean,
now, Joe, in D&D, does Vecna have a bunch of dongs coming off his back, or is it just the crab armor that he has?
No, he doesn't have either in D&D, you big purple boob.
Okay. What about the flaming clock mace? Is that something that's also in D&D?
That's not even a thing. That's not even real.
It feels pretty real.
It's not. It's not.
There you have it, folks. This is not Joe's Vecna, but
Ooh. It's not Vecna.
Very nice. Very nice. Loving it.
That looks like copyright infringement right there.
That's awesome.
I mean, Unkin's never looked better with Joe's face on it. You know what I mean? Like,
I wish I had that kind of hair.
But these two together.
Oh yeah.
With all the dongs, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah,
Terrence. Appreciate that.
I've never found out for the boom boom hole.
My boom boom hole. No.
Boom boom hole dong.
Yeah.
Now, oh my goodness, he pulled all of his dildonks.
Yeah.
So
his boom boom hole was a little tight there. Just
holy moly. Wow.
A tail will never fit in that boom boom hole again. That's
not anymore.
Well,
boom boom
G says, wow, it's Vecna. It is. It's a Vecna. So,
but yeah. Curtis is so distracted by wanting to harass me about Vecna that he didn't even notice that I used an Urzok to show off the freaking skeleton.
It's a I mean,
how focused he
that was a flex, but then Terrence came on with Unkin, so your flex got deflexed.
With what?
Unkin.
It's not Unkin.
It's his Unkin.
Yeah, that's not the same thing. Just like Vecna, Curtis.
It's better. Look at it.
It's not the same thing.
It's better than Unkin. Look at it.
Terrence's Unkin isn't Unkin.
It's a funkin.
How's that not?
Just so the audience
Can we see
knows.
the package on that Unkin to see what the name says? Because if it says Unkin, like the Vecna
you're
says
about to see
Vecna.
my package, Curtis, so you can tell me what it says.
Whoa!
No, just
Folks,
so the
make sure you
audience.
subscribe first.
We're gonna get our first teabagging on OffWorld.
just
I
so
don't want to own that hashtag, by the way.
right. Just so the audience knows,
Mm-hmm.
the hatred is not for the Motu figure. It's for Super 7 canceling that badass Vecna figure that they were going to.
And it was really, really awesome.
It was really, really
Man.
Like they teased us. They teased us.
Oh, they teased the fuck out of us.
I think that Joe has played D&D for a long time. He's got a certain special relationship with Vecna.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've used them as a villain in campaigns multiple times.
Yeah, and I think the fact that he's never in any of those campaigns thought to put crab armor on Vecna really upsets him, because he's like, that could have really been the difference in that fight. It could have really amped up the emotion and the excitement. And so now he's just like, how can I incorporate crab armor into my campaign? So I think that's kind of what's going on here.
Well, I don't know about the armor part, but I was serious about Braddock getting crabs.
Yeah, Braddock's
Oh yeah, Braddock's gonna be itching for weeks. He got some crab armor
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
We're definitely going to be fighting a dong monster at some point.
You already are a dong monster.
I was gonna say the face that Cringer just made shows you exactly the face you make when you get attacked by the dong monster.
That's yeah. Curtis is gonna be a cringering.
Oh shoot. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Let's see what's next. Transmissions.
What? We have other segments?
Yeah, Joe, what do we got for transmissions?
I don't know. It's how cars go.
Some are automatic, some are manual.
Some are nightly.
Gotcha.
If you can handle a manual, you tend to be better off than people who just rely on the automatic. I'll put it out there. I don't drive, so I just laugh at both of them.
A manual transmission is an anti-theft device in our current.
It is.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, it is. The amount of manual car thefts in Baltimore has gone down, which that says a lot right there.
Cars in general are like theft free because everybody wants to take an Uber. The newer generation,
cheaper than the gas.
And thank you, Blake. He 100% agrees with me.
Well, I would say it was almost perfect. It would have been perfect if they actually released it.
If it came out, yeah.
Yeah.
And
the
I
fact
actually
that they didn't release it makes it less than perfect.
I pre-ordered that one and they sent me my money back. That's how much.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what's really weird is that I've seen Super 7 produce The Simpsons. And so you're telling me that more people wanted Super 7 Simpsons than Vecna.
I think Vecna was too deep of a cut. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like marketing it to the right audience. I think there's a lot of D&D fans that love Vecna that have no idea what the hell Super 7 is. You know what I mean?
Meanwhile, all the Stranger Thing fans were like, "Who the fuck's that?"
All the Stranger Things fans were like, "Look at this Motu one that's awesome."
They're all buying.
I bet that's not even what he looks like in the show. Come on.
Well, he ain't this ripped, and he sure as hell didn't have crabs. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, which is an odd choice if he didn't have a crab on his chest in the show. What was the motivation to add that? They were just like,
no clue.
He needs something else. Let's give him crabs.
Let's give him crabs.
Make him have an itchy crotch. That'll
there
work.
you go.
I think the crab is supposed to represent that giant spidery thing. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they just felt they.
Oh, you know, yeah.
No, those
you
are the
might be
dongs.
right.
The dongs are the spider.
I thought those were supposed to be his little like.
Are those bendy dongs or?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
They don't bend that well. They kind of bend, but they go right back.
Do we have a bendy dong situation?
Oh no, those are cast dongs. It's basically a dildo. Damn it,
dildo.
We're just gonna leave Terrence and Big in like he's Dooch's chair.
Wait, does that mean we can start auctioning off Terrence's collection?
Exactly.
Legendary barbarian for.
I'll take the NyQuil in the background for $5.
That's a 72-hour stream alone.
I don't know, but he can't handle his dongs very well. They keep falling off.
Mine fell off, which is why he's not wearing.
I mean, if you get a good partner, you shouldn't have to handle your dong. All right, next, Event Horizon. What do we got? I'll start off, and this one may be actually something interesting for Joe. So I heard that the voice actors for Baldur's Gate were doing a little kind of interview thing at a convention, and the one of them, the one that does the voice for Lae'zel, I believe, called out Netflix and said, I hear that you have started talking about doing a D&D TV show, and all of us voice actors for Baldur's Gate are ready and available to do a Baldur's Gate TV show. So if that were to happen, Joe, what are your thoughts on that?
So that is the truth. I actually watched that clip, and I think it would be freaking amazing. Larian was smart enough to, for the most part, kind of design the characters around the look of the actors because they motion captured them.
Yep.
So, like Neil Newbon looks like his character, they look like their characters, and I think could play them very well. I've watched a few different shows where they play D&D as their characters, like live action D&D as their characters. I think that would be amazing. Baldur's Gate 3 was so good. Any content, I mean, maybe if the show was good enough, we'd actually get some Baldur's Gate action figures from Hasbro, the toy company. That would be pretty cool.
Well, I know, they said that like for like a lot of the cut scenes and things like that, they used motion capture. So a lot of like the fight scenes and things like that, they've done this stuff. Like, it's not like they would be learning it new. Like, it would just be doing it in live action versus video game. So I think that would be awesome.
I think it would be amazing. They're real actors. Like, I don't know about all of them, but several of them I know do voice acting, but they also do normal acting. They're not only voice actors. So it's not like it would be a big stretch of their abilities to be in a live action D&D show. So I think it would be amazing. And I hope it happens. I don't think it will, because
I don't think so either, but I would love it. I think it would be awesome.
We rarely get what we want for some odd reason.
The one thing I will say is that Baldur's Gate is really hot right now. Like, it is really, like, for a game that's not a monthly subscription type game, to continue to pick up more people playing as it gets further along is kind of unheard of. So the trajectory that it's been on, over the past 2 years, it's like super hot right now. And, I don't know, maybe them calling Netflix out, that might be the thing that kind of, gets them to pull the trigger. It would be awesome. I would love it.
If it gets the fans excited. I don't know, because the game tells the story of the characters from start to finish. And I don't know if they would retell that story, or I'm sure they could get somebody creative different to come up with something. But
you could even do some like like prequel type kind of backstory kind of things, and some of those folks have also been, some of the characters have been in the other Baldur's Gate games as well. So there could be other stories in between the games that you could tell, that kind of thing. So.
Maybe they could do something where the characters from Baldur's Gate get pulled to Earth, and part of the story takes place on Earth.
Could be
where they fight their enemies there, and then try and make it back to.
It could be that like they vanquish all of their enemies, and then they're like, "Hey, we need a new enemy for them. What's a great D&D enemy?" And they bring in Motu Vecna to fight them.
That would be a shame because then I couldn't watch the show.
Yeah, and then they each have to fight. Yeah,
I mean, I have nothing against Motu Vecna in reality, but now thanks to Curtis, I just would boycott the show.
Well, I mean, you've got 4 people in the party, right? So each one could go after a dong.
A different dong.
I mean, that still leaves a couple extra dongs and the crab to worry about. But I mean,
that's what summons are for,
Joe, is it better than the knife thing?
Better? I wouldn't call any of those good.
What if people ask you for Vecna instead?
I would love. Okay.
They're gonna get.
Let me just hold on. Let me hold on. I'm gonna take a Terrence's spot and big of myself real quick. Okay, folks, I'm gonna throw this out there. If you happen to see this He-Man Vecna 2-pack go on sale at your Walmart, buy as many of them as you can. Open them up.
Joe
right.
G.
I want people to bring Joe like 200 Vecnas at Legion's Con, okay? Like the whole swig, like 1,000 swig things for like. Okay, we're gonna do the 1,000 swigs. But let's see if we can get like 200 Vecnas for Joe G.
I'd settle for even 5.
Yeah.
If we could just muster 5.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can fit 200 in my car.
So I agree with Curtis. If anybody would like to see Curtis beat with 200 Vecnas,
I changed that.
Bring them,
like to see 200 Vecnas.
I'm game for 200
Legion's Quest near you.
That mother fluffer is going to have little crab shapes all over his face from me hitting him.
That's going to be 200 of these little crabs
hitting Curtis in the face. Yes, correct.
Trevor, yes, that is correct. Larian would not be doing any more Baldur's Gate games. I'm sure they're going to go and do some other type of game that will, it's not necessarily going to be D&D format, but probably similar. But they are done with Baldur's Gate. So
they are. I think I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it because it's not. I don't mean it to be bashing, but the way that the popularity of Baldur's Gate was handled, I think, did not sit well with some of the higher ups at Larian because they're not the kind of company that wants to take advantage of their fans. They want to deliver a good product and sell games through the quality.
It's like Metallica after the Black Album, right? It's like, they kind of went mainstream. Right. That's
exactly. Yeah, kind of. So,
or when Bungie was taken out by 343.
There was a board meeting about making money off of games that kind of had, I think, left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. So I don't want to get too much into it, but I think Larian's maybe done with third party. They have their own series, Divinity: Original Sin. Those are really, really good games that they developed themselves. I would imagine they're going to do another one now. They're a much bigger company they were when they did the first 2 Divinity games. So the third one will probably knock our socks off. So
it is sad though, like as great as it turned out to be, that they couldn't just work out their differences to like do another one,
That's a tough one too, though, because and that's me speculating.
Yeah.
It might just be that Larian's like, hey, this is our magnum opus.
Yeah.
And if we did another one, it's just not going to live up to, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They might have planned for it to be a one and done the whole time just because it was such a great game,
Yeah. I kind of feel like Hasbro mistakenly thinks that anybody can do this, like that they can get any game company to come in, and as long as it's around these characters and around the D&D, play style system, that they can get anybody to design a game to make this much money and be this popular.
Well,
and I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, well, that kind of. So what did Baldur's Gate 3 make? 65 million?
This past year it made over 60 million, and they were budgeting for 30 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But Hasbro during that same stockholder meeting talked about their what's that Monopoly video game making 112
Monopoly
million.
Go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
112 million.
But that's a mobile game, right?
So
I don't even know what it is.
I'll say this about Hasbro. One thing that they don't get, and they're trying to get into, is the idea of video games and how those sales work.
Mm-hmm.
Wii was one of the greatest selling consoles of all time. And the reason it was such a hot commodity and one of the greatest selling consoles of all time is because it didn't sell to gamers. It sold to a casual audience of people who don't really play video games.
Yeah.
Guess who plays a lot of those little mobile games on phones?
Well, yeah. I mean, the mobile games make a lot of money,
Tons
not
of
only,
money.
because there are a lot of pay to win, right? Like it's pay to open up packs and pay to get special skins.
Pay this, pay that.
Yeah, it's like,
so like get premium stuff with this. And mind you, there's a lot of that in regular video games too. But there are
any game from EA, for example.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are just a lot of people who don't play video games.
For a while before I got into Legions, I was playing Marvel Contest of Champions. And like people are talking about like $500 on the drag and like all this. Dude, it wouldn't be uncommon for me to drop $600 in a weekend on Contest of Champions. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
It was.
I dropped like
it
over
was crazy
$800 on Halo.
It's one of those like free games that turns out to not be free once you get into it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I've been down that
there's
road.
a paywall that keeps you from the cool content.
Yes.
Yeah,
sure.
You want that cool content. Like you get invested, and it starts with like a little. Well, if I just put 5 in,
and
then you see what that gets you, and then next thing you know, like you're like 3 days into a weekend after payday, and you're like, wait a minute.
Alan says Monopoly Go is a mobile game. They just bought Pokemon Go. Okay.
Oh, they bought that from Niantic.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
I would encourage everyone to go and watch Sven, the owner of Larian Studios, his acceptance speech for the Game of the Year award.
Right.
He talks about, instead of adding all those like in-game purchases and things like that, just making a good game and the money will just come, And it's a fantastic speech because you can tell he really means it. And I don't think he wants to be a part of anything that's a money grab.
Yeah.
He loves what he does, and he just wants to make good games that, the fans
people enjoy playing, that have a good time with it. And that's something that definitely was missed out of the video game world over the last several years, in my opinion. And that's, I don't even nearly pay attention to gaming as much as I used to when I was working in there. So,
well, it just, I get it that these companies need to make money,
without a doubt.
You've got these mega corporations that own these video game companies. These mega corporations want to make money, so that's a part of it, but it's not a necessity. You can make good games that will make a lot of money, and not it doesn't have to be a money grab or you can just take care of your fans and be super popular.
Right.
Larian was not in a household name. They are now. And it was because they put the effort in to make a good game.
Well, like you said, with like games like Divinity, the original one, is a cool story, but it wasn't really, the game mechanics weren't that great. It wasn't a great overall game. They fixed a lot of it going into Divinity 2.
Yes.
That was a massive improvement and an even better story. So, it's like they know what they're doing. They've worked on things, they've learned from things, and it's just allowed them to make better games.
And they're just a much bigger company now.
Much more massive than the small team they were to start.
Yeah.
So besides Baldur's Gate, anything else for Event Horizon that you guys are excited for? Yeah, Jeff.
Excuse me. Andor season 2 is coming up very soon, next month. I enjoyed season 1, so I'm looking forward to seeing.
Oh, sorry, I just fell asleep just thinking about Andor season 2.
It's gonna be, based on what I've seen, it looks like it's gonna be a lot more energizing than
Very nice. That should be good.
what was the other thing? Shit, you screwed me up, man.
Sorry, man.
I watched the first episode of the new Daredevil.
Daredevil is good right now.
Daredevil's good, man. I'm all caught up on that, and I'm all caught up on Reacher as well. Both of those are going great right now.
Yes, both. I was gonna wait until all of Daredevil was out, but no, I couldn't.
I was going to, but there was there's no way I'm gonna get spoiled and all this kind of stuff, and
I needed to. All right, Jeff.
I tell you what, they've done a really good job of just kind of keeping that same vibe from the Netflix series.
Totally. Yeah. Jeff, please.
The Last of Us season 2 is coming very soon on Max, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of where that's going, because who doesn't like Pedro? Pedro's the man.
A lot of people.
And last but not least, Lilo and Stitch. I saw the full trailer yesterday or the day before, and I'm interested to see how Lilo and Stitch turns out.
How it keeps going, that was good.
Nice. Alan says it's a monster camp weekend for him, so no TV.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, we talked last Sunday with him about that. That monster camp sounds so fun, man. People go there and they learn how to make all those masks and everything and work with all that stuff. Dude, that sounds so fun.
I don't watch much TV anyways, so.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you would never watch TV if you had Monster Camp.
Yeah. But I tell you what, Reacher and Daredevil, both of those are so good right now. So I'm loving both of them.
If anybody is on D&D Beyond, they're doing their spring sale right now.
Oh,
where many of their, well, not a lot, but quite a few of their products are on sale right now. And the Vecna module is on sale. So if anybody would actually like to learn about the real Vecna, you can get it at a discounted price right now.
He's got crabs.
Curtis, I'm not going to call on you. Just shut the hell up.
I would just like to say that earlier this week, and it wasn't on camera, this was a private StreamYard session between myself and Joe. Jesse was also there, but we did not record it. We did not go live. But I felt like Joe was giving me a hard time and kind of looking down on me for going on D&D Beyond and making a purchase and buying some digital dice. But he wants me to go on there and buy digital reading material. So, I mean, I'm just going to throw this out to the group. Which sounds cooler, digital reading material or digital dice?
So,
is he correct, Curtis, Joe, in that description?
So it's Curtis. So of course he put a spin on it. Makes it sound worse than it actually is. And that's the normal. I wasn't even going to correct him. But all I said was I wouldn't spend $5 on pretend dice. That's what I said. But that's just me.
And how much is the digital reading material?
Good question, Jeff.
Probably like $23 or $24.
But I'm going to go with the $5 dice.
That nobody's going to see. They don't
Jeff,
even show up
know
on
what
screen.
kind of money you spend.
Curtis is the only person
you go
seeing
for the
them.
dice is because you can't return the reading material.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to afford the $5 dice.
So I am going to show you right now. I am going to roll 20 D20 Vecna dice on the screen for everybody to see.
Are we going to see it? Oh, look at that.
Tell me that's not cool.
Not enough purple crabs.
Curtis, why are
where's the
eyeballs?
crabs? I don't see the crabs.
Yeah.
They're eyeballs because that relates to the crab armor. I think. I don't know. I don't know enough about Vecna. I would probably have to get some reading material.
Joe, does that have anything to do with
If
Vecna?
you are interested in finding out why they look like eyeballs, buy the goddamn module and it'll tell you.
I'll just send Joe a message later.
Also got the dice of planar summoning, so I can show you that as well. Let's see. Let's go back here, and we'll do another 20 D20s. So between these two sets of dice, the Vecna and these, cost me $10. So here we go. Come on.
Sound effects too.
Look at the 21. Ah, there it is. How cool is that, right?
Wow, that was totally worth $5.
Exactly. $5 for all eternity. The rest of the time that I use this. So I'm just saying, you know.
Next week they're discontinuing D&D Beyond.
Yeah, right.
All because Curtis didn't buy them.
Yeah, and
that's fine. Something else will start up, and Joe will have to buy the same reading material he's already purchased 3 times before again.
It's Hasbro, so in 2026 they're going to be like, "Oh, our old dice aren't going to work anymore, but you can buy the new versions."
Gotta upgrade.
Probably true. Anything else? Any other TV shows, movies, video games? Anything coming up you guys are excited for?
And the Moon Man comic book Kickstarter is going on right now too.
It just launched. It was a bit later than what Alan had mentioned. I said Alan. Blake had mentioned to us. Sorry, I was reading Alan his chat again there. But yeah, what Blake had said to us about when it was going to go live. But it is finally live. So if you guys remember a couple episodes back, if you don't, go back a couple episodes and go watch about Moon Man Zero.
Yeah.
I'm excited. There's a YouTube channel that I follow. Pretty good one. And sometimes YouTube channels, they kind of change over the course of time, like they start off with one kind of like a way that they're doing things and content that they're putting out and things like that. And then over time, depending on what things are popular or not popular, or how the person that's running the channel just decides to do things, they decide to kind of change things up as they go, especially when you get to certain milestones, right? And so what I'm wondering is, what is the future for Ostradamus Toys now that we're in the 1,000 subscriber territory? Are things going to change? Are they going to stay the same? Is there new things coming for us that we're not expecting? Is it? We're done? Did we hit it and now we're the show is over? What's up now that we've hit the 1,000 mark? Oz, you've got the floor, sir.
Thank you, Curtis. So channel's going to kind of continue as it has been going. It's going to be a ginormous shit show every Saturday night. We have no idea what's going to happen. There are going to be prolapses in judgment. We're going to talk about gut health, kombucha on occasion, just
Motu slideshows. Joe G's mustache.
Vecna crabs. They're going to be there. We're going to be unboxing some toys, all of that. It's going to be fun every Saturday night. Now that I've been trying to come up with a better idea for channel memberships and stuff. I've been thinking about it for a while. So that's going to be coming soon. I have gotten back to my artist tablet, and I will be making a channel mascot. So I'm going to have that kind of going on. There's going to be some emojis for channel members. Prolapses in judgment is extremely painful, Trevor. Don't ever try it.
That's why his Vecna doesn't have the dongs right now. Don't ask.
They detach. They just don't always unplug.
You remember that song "Detachable Penis"?
Oh,
you ever heard that?
Yeah. Sometimes I just keep it in my medicine cabinet.
That was a great one back in the day.
That was
detachable penis.
Yeah. Awesome. So they can still see you tomorrow night. You're gonna be there. Things are gonna be going. I'm
gonna be there as long as somebody doesn't force an extra 300 and some subscribers on me in an hour and a half. I should remain for the entire damn thing.
Beautiful.
I was just pissed last week.
It's all right. You're good. You're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I love the channel. It's just a fun time. Just hanging out, talking with folks, talking toys. It's just to me, it's like it's kind of like OffWorld, like just hanging around, having a good time, enjoying yourself, enjoying the company of others. It's really cool. I really enjoy it.
And one of my favorite things about the clubhouse is the variety. Depending on who's on the show, you could be talking about completely different toys. I hear about a lot of things that I would never be aware of if it wasn't for the clubhouse, just because those aren't in my area of interest.
Action Figure Girl says, am I invited? The great thing is everybody's invited. Like, that's the thing. Like,
you just gotta get there early.
If you're there and there's an opening on the screen and you say, hey, can I get a link? I was going to send you a link, unless you do something stupid, you piss them off, or you act really dumb, or you attack somebody, or do something you shouldn't do. But
that's why I never stay too long.
Yeah. Other than that, there's a lot of folks that get on there, and there's a lot of different interests and personalities and everything. It's a fun time. Dylan over there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Action Figure Girl is Steph Orkin.
I believe that may be correct. Yeah,
I think so.
She's never.
Thank you.
What's that?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Terrence, I think you're muted. Or we just can't hear you.
I think when we talk, he doesn't come through, so we all have to be quiet.
Yell, Terrence. Yell.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Now we can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. No, I was just curious. Hasn't Steph been on Clubhouse?
She has at least twice. At least
there
twice.
You go.
But that's how it works. Again, I try to keep it extremely casual. The way the channel has evolved over time, a lot of people I've heard describe it as it's the bar that everybody goes to hang out on Saturday nights. And that's kind of the way I like it. When I first started doing it, it was me going to talk about topics. There's really only a range of topics you can really discuss over some time. And then you kind of sound like you're repeating yourself. Or
it's the loyal order of the water buffalo.
Right.
I haven't seen Terrence on in a long time, and he's a bartender.
Yeah,
it's a natural fit.
He's in the comments a lot. He just doesn't
always
get
more than welcome.
Yeah,
right. He's always more than welcome to join. He knows this.
I often work Saturday nights, so I don't get out until late, and then when
because the clubhouse ends early. Yeah.
Oh no, it's not that. It's just that
that's a joke. I'm just
shots fired.
Yeah. No, it's typically a full house when I get there, which it's fine. And sometimes I have work early Sunday mornings for brunch and stuff like that. But I jump on when I can. The other thing too is, I usually work like a 12-hour day. So by the time I get home, Gina's looking forward to seeing me, and it's just a matter of like, if I get on the clubhouse, I'm definitely probably on there for at least a couple hours. So it's just a matter of the commitment of time,
Right.
Absolutely.
I always hang out with you guys, and I always look forward to jumping on there. And
he's blaming me for not being hang out.
That's what spouses are for, Gina. Sorry,
Gina, you just messaged me. We'll send you the invite. You come join us and hang out.
I'll come join.
Was that employee studio person Gina from Zombies from Mars? Wow,
Space Zombies from Mars. Everyone.
That's crazy.
The Nameless Toy Company.
The Nameless Toy Company.
Wagon, please. Anyway.
TNT, the dynamite.
But that's the idea. Just hanging out, having a good time, and opening up some great plastic with your friends. I mean, that's really what started to evolve the show. Was we just started doing unboxings, and I'd invite people on just whatever they were unboxing. And
I need that. I need more time like that.
But if you unbox it, you can't return it, Jeff.
I'm not returning.
Sure, you're not.
I'm giving it. I'm sending it to Dylan. Eventually.
Yeah.
So,
but I was the 4 Horsemen guy on there, but then Curtis and Jeff had to creep in, get in my action. So.
Me? I'm not a 4 Horseman.
Yeah, I'm not there to talk 4 Horsemen. I'm there for just my own exposure and
yeah, he's there for art
he's just riding my curtails. That's
I'm just self-promoting. That's it.
Right? So. That's it. Self-promotion.
Yeah, no, I'm there to make fun of the Motu guys.
Make fun of the Motu guys,
even though I love Motu. I absolutely love Motu.
Love Motu?
I do. I Motu's my first love, but
Curtis does a Motu show with Dooch.
Yeah,
when Dooch does shows.
I've just accepted Mondo as my version of Motu at this point, and everything else seems like child's play. So, yeah,
there you go. And you also bring perspective because there's not always as many McFarlane DC fans, and we appreciate that. Like, that's again one of those things that I really like is having people on with various likes and interests, because it gets more, more light on stuff, and I think that's important.
Yeah, I mean, there's this.
Hey, look, Terrence has the one McFarlane female figure. That's cool.
Yeah, there's this nasty rumor out there that McFarlane only makes Batmans now, and don't get me wrong, he makes a lot of Batman, but he makes a lot of other stuff too,
like himself.
Exactly,
and his feet.
That actually the story I heard was that he did not know that the feet were going to be in there. They did that without his knowledge.
Nope. So, his name is on it.
Yeah, that's true, but he did not know about it. He thought it was funny, but he did not know about it. Alan was asking, have images of space zombies from Mars with other figures, and yes, we did. It is right here. So there you go. There's an example of that. So
now that's exclusive right now. This image
fourth
is
one in from the
exclusive to Let's Go Offworld.
Yeah.
We only see that image.
We're doing
here.
Breaking news here.
Look, Mama, we made it.
Yeah.
Let's Go Offworld. This is the first place you're ever going to see this image. Right.
If you like what you're seeing on the screen, please like and subscribe.
Yeah, and go back to Kickstarter for sure.
Good job.
Do that
Joe.
anyways, even if you don't like and subscribe, because those two toys are cool as heck.
They are.
Oh man, they are.
Any other items for Event Horizon?
One thing that I am very excited about. Last weekend, before I hit 1,000 subscribers, I did a little charity stream with one of our good friends, Stu, Universal Toy Collector over in the UK. He was doing a charity stream last week for Give Kids the World, which is a great charity where they actually have an amusement park where kids who are getting treatment for cancer get entire vacations completely paid for in full to go enjoy this amusement park. And I said that if they hit a certain milestone, I'd grow my hair out for the next year. And they hit that milestone. So you guys are actually going to see Oz with like hair.
Friar Tuck Oz.
Yeah, it's going to be Friar Tuck because, some of you may have seen images of me when I had hair on top of my head. That doesn't come back anymore. That went away a long time ago.
Relatable.
So full skullet going to be going over the course of the next year.
We should totally do like a Robin Hood Prince of Thieves thing.
So I got to be Friar Tuck.
Yeah.
Friar Oz.
Yeah, but that also means you get to ride around the back of the wagon with the all the liquor, right?
No, that'll be coffee. And Terrence already found out we can't go around Legion's Con just randomly going passing out liquor.
And Drunk Gizmo Customs in here with the congratulations on 1,000 Oz. Yes, absolutely. So
thank you.
All right. Any other last Event Horizons from you guys?
Not Event Horizon, but
well, then shut up.
Okay.
Oh.
My graveyard skeletons only came with the right clawed foot. So if anyone has the left clawed foot and are willing and able to help me out, I would very much appreciate it.
I believe there's what is that place called? Oh yeah, Four Horsemen.
Yeah,
that you could reach out to them and they will just send you one in the mail. So that's probably the best option.
No way.
I think for that probably is the best.
No, I know. And
yeah, because otherwise somebody else is going to be short one. So,
yeah, you're taking away from somebody else still.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Last thing for Event Horizon, I'm really looking forward to Legion's Con when Joe gets all of his Vecnas. So.
And hits Curtis over the head with them.
Yeah.
So
either
don't
way,
bring any that you don't want
me.
broken. Because they'll probably come back in pieces. Sorry,
I will take all your Vecna crabs, and Joe will take all your Vecna dongs. So,
hey, wait! I never agreed to that.
You can give him a Thanos copter.
There you go.
Right.
All right. Next we have got This Week in Theaters.
Twit.
So here we go. Let's go to our random number generator.
I hope this is a better week than it's been.
Man, it can't be worse. I actually went to 2015. We're trying to hopefully, if we get a bigger range of years.
Can we go back like to
at one point we were stopping at 2000. We went to 2010. We're gonna go. No, it doesn't go. The results on the site that we use do not go earlier than 1982.
Damn.
A lot of good movies before that.
1982, 2015. We're going to time travel back in time. For anybody just watching for the first time, we're going to go back in time. We're going to land on a year. We're going to go into this date on that year. So 3/14 Pi Day that year. And we're going to see what's in the theater. We can see any of the 10 top movies that were out at that time. So here we go. 1991. So
it's going to be
1991
in March.
See what we got.
Oh, never mind.
All right.
Like February into March is always like one of the worst times at the box office.
It would be the leftovers from December of 90.
Not at March. I don't know. I don't know that it's still leftovers, but we'll see.
No, it's the leftovers from Valentine's Day.
We are looking for Marvember.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast probably is on there.
February
14th. Here we go. Didn't we? No, we did not have this. Okay. All right, here we go. Number one at the theaters this week is Silence of the Lambs. Young FBI cadet must receive the help of an incarcerated and manipulative cannibal killer to help catch another serial killer, a madman who skins his victims. So here you go. Next, we got New Jack. New Jack City. Crime lord ascends to power and becomes a megalomaniacal. Becomes megamaniacal. I said I put an A in there that was not there. Becomes megamaniacal while a maverick police detective vows to stop him. So
I didn't know Maverick was in the police.
No,
Maverick wasn't born yet.
Next, we've got The Hard Way. An action movie star researching a role is allowed to tag along with a hard-boiled New York City policeman who finds him superficial and irritating. Next, we have The Doors. Jim Morrison's life from his LA film student days to his death in Paris. Val Kilmer delivers an uncanny portrayal with vocals indistinguishable from Morrison's original. It depicts Morrison's journey as the iconic 60s rock frontman.
So good.
Next, never seen it. Next, we've got Sleeping with the Enemy. Librarian fakes her death to escape her abusive marriage and starts a new life elsewhere, but her husband manages to track her down.
Wow, Julia? Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Jeez. That just ruined the whole movie.
Next, we've got Dances with Wolves. Lieutenant assigned to a remote Civil War outpost starts questioning his purpose after making contact with neighboring Sioux settlement. Then we've got Home Alone. So this one definitely is a carryover, Dylan. 8-year-old troublemaker mistakenly left home alone, must defend his home against a pair of burglars on Christmas Eve.
In March.
When did that drop? Was that an actual Christmas movie?
What?
Home Alone. That came out on Christmas?
I believe so, yeah.
Or like Thanksgiving.
Before it, yeah. Next, we have Shipwrecked. A young Norwegian boy at 1850s England goes to work as a cabin boy and discovers some of his shipmates are actual pirates. Dun, dun, dun. Next, we have King Ralph. Regular guy from America becomes king of England after a royal wipeout puts him next in line. And last but not least, we have LA Story. With the help of a talking freeway billboard, a wacky weatherman tries to win the heart of an English newspaper reporter who is struggling to make sense of the strange world of the 1990s Los Angeles. So those are the 10 movies that are at the theater that week. We can see any of those 10. We can't see anything further from that, and we can't not watch a movie. We have to see something. The timeline depends on it. We are starting at the bottom with Terrence. Terrence, what are you seeing?
Who was in Shipwrecked?
I couldn't tell who any of those people were.
It's a Walt Disney film. Walt Disney.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody would have to look that up. It doesn't say on here. So
really, that's interesting.
Well, it doesn't. This site never tells me who it is, so I could look up cast. I could hit here.
Okay, I'm on it.
But then you got to pay for it, and I'm not going to pay for it. So
I've seen most movies on that list. I'm gonna go with Dances with Wolves. Kevin Costner.
Classic.
Okay, Dances with Wolves. Little side note. I saw Dances with Wolves in the theater when I went to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and my mom went to see Dances with Wolves, and I didn't know that Dances with Wolves was about 15 times longer than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes, sir.
So when my movie was done, I had to go into the movie theater with her and watch this movie I cared nothing for. All right.
It's not a bad movie, but it does.
No, it's not. It's actually a pretty good movie. But when you're in the mood for TMNT and then you have to watch the back half of Dance with Wolves and you have no idea what the fuck happened in the first half.
It's exactly
the first half is the best part.
Yeah.
Because I watched Dances with Wolves in the Dollar Theater.
Yep.
Let me tell you what, that you get your money's worth in the Dollar Theater with Dances with Wolves.
Oh, yeah.
You're
definitely getting
sure
money's worth.
Do.
Yeah.
Joe, what are you seeing?
There's a lot of good movies on this list, but I'm going to go see King Ralph. I remember watching this movie, when I was younger and really getting a kick out of it. It's kind of a silly comedy, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay.
Jeff, what you saying?
Dances with Wolves.
All right. We got 2 Dances with Wolves. We got 1 King Ralph. I don't think there's any apes in here. Dylan, what are you seeing?
Before Dylan chooses, I should let him know. I was looking up the cast of Shipwrecked, and I don't recognize a fucking name. But I did see that there is a gorilla in Shipwrecked.
Oh.
Oh, snap.
No, this may change things.
Shit.
Yeah, so apparently...
Shit and then throw it, Dylan.
Exactly.
Honestly, let me go back and find that line here. Where is it? Following a self-training with a sword and gun, HaPPen manages to use a horn when a gorilla attacks. This makes the gorilla docile, who then starts to befriend HaPPen, behaving like a pet.
Wow, so not only a gorilla, but a gorilla attack.
Then he becomes a pet.
Yeah.
I guess I'm seeing this now.
Shipwrecked with nobody you're gonna fucking recognize, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I guess I'm seeing that.
We got Dylan for Shipwrecked. So we got 2 for Dance with Wolves. We got 1 for King Ralph. We got 1 for Shipwrecked. Oz, which movie on this list seems awesome to you?
Yeah. This is probably the hardest list we've had to go through yet, because I've actually seen just about all of these.
Mm-hmm.
Shipwrecked I've never fucking seen, even though it's got pirates in it. So I just want to reiterate that.
Mm-hmm.
But no Vecna.
I definitely no Vecna. Neither Motu Krabby Vecna nor D&D Vecna nor Super 7 Vecna, but I heard he doesn't make appearances.
Yeah, Super 7 Vecna doesn't exist. It's a figment of our imagination.
It is. It's a fucking cock tease. I'm heading with Joe to see King Ralph because you know what? I haven't seen that movie. That's probably the movie I've seen second least on this list, and it's always a good time to go check that out.
Nice.
Well, I'd like to point out some comments before I make my selection. We got Schmerber out here says Dances with Wolves. He's going with a few of those folks. Blake said Silence of the Lambs for him.
Lava beans.
William said, never get tired of Silence of the Lambs. And then Mike says, wow, no one for Silence of the Lambs yet. So, yes, that is correct. Up until myself here, there has not been anybody that selected Silence of the Lambs. And I am not going to change that because fuck Silence of the Lambs. I am going to go see The Hard Way, which is an amazing flick with Michael J. Fox and James Woods. Fucking hilarious. Like it's just this premise where you've got this movie star following around a cop, and the cop doesn't want him to be there, and it is both of them. Like James Woods is so fucking sarcastic and just gruff and angry the whole time. It's like Joe, right? And then Michael J. Fox is just being like cute and funny and stuff like me. So it's like watching me and Joe, right? Like if we were to ride together in a car, like that's what this movie is like. So,
I think Curtis hit the nail on the head with that one, except the roles might be a little reversed.
So yeah, The Hard Way. If anybody has not checked out The Hard Way, I'm telling you, it is a great flick. So, yeah, love that one.
But Dances with Wolves have been in the theater for 18 weeks.
Yes, at this point, yeah, that's why I was able to see it at the same time as TMNT. So
the gorilla from Shipwreck has a
it came out 1 week before Home Alone. Does that make it a Christmas movie?
Yeah,
I think it does. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, we got G also says Dances with Wolves. And yep, that's it. So, but yeah, Hard Way, folks. The Hard Way.
I actually haven't seen that movie. I might have to check it out. I remember seeing the TV advertisements for it. That's how long ago that was.
It's one of my favorites. I really like it a lot. So, Dylan.
So Shipwrecked, I'm doing some Googling now, is a Norwegian film. So I bet the dubbing is just fantastic. The gorilla has a wiki page on the Disney Villains Wikipedia.
Oh, wow.
So that's something. Yeah, because it starts as an antagonist, apparently. The suit looks familiar, so I'm curious as to who worked on that. Yeah,
maybe Jeff has an answer. I don't know. His hand was up. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was going to interject with some information.
Interject away.
So, The Hard Way, 1991's director John Badham also directed Saturday Night Fever, Dracula, Blue Thunder, War Games, Short Circuit, Stakeout, Bird on a Wire, Point of No Return, and Drop Zone.
Which Dracula?
A lot of good movies.
That Dracula is 1979's Dracula.
Oh, that's Hammer, I think.
Yeah, Hammer Films. That's Christopher Lee's Dracula.
That's Frank
Langella.
Oh, that's the Langella BBC version.
Oh, yeah, that's not Hammer.
Yeah,
well, you know,
it's a BBC special, I think.
Alan, being quite the monkey fan himself, is going with you to see Shipwrecked.
That's what I'm talking about.
So there we go. Yeah.
Makes up for not seeing Silence of the Lambs.
I think you should, Dylan. I think you should go down to Texas and join Alan for Monster Camp, and
I would love to
have him help you make a monkey mask.
Monkey suit.
So,
I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right.
I got a comment, parents.
Yeah,
I have those same Max Bird soft goods for the horse. I did almost the exact same thing that what you did for my display also.
Mm-hmm.
So
you know what they say, great minds think alike.
Joe wants his credit.
But also idiots also sometimes do the same thing. So
do they? I'll take your word for it, Curtis.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Next we've got Primary Objective, but we already really kind of covered that. That was the Space Zombies from Mars. We also talked about Oz's 1,000 subscribers.
There's one more.
Amazing. There's one more. Oh, sorry, Jeff. Yes. What is the last Primary Objective?
Baywatch.
With the lifeguards?
No, with the BEY, the Great Pillar of the West.
I didn't see. Was there an update today? I didn't see an update.
No, there wasn't an update today.
That's interesting. You would think. I mean, there's only 30 days in the campaign.
I don't.
They
think
didn't make it like 45
I thought
or 60.
I saw a post this morning.
There was an update this morning.
There was an update?
It wasn't a huge update, but it was an update.
What's the number that we're at? Does anybody know?
It was a little over
1155 at 58% for the Bathier Dragon. 808 units at 81% for the Fury Breath add-on, and 659 units at 66% for the Epic Wing sets.
Ah, gotcha.
So we're looking at Fury Breath first to hit, then the Wings, and then the Dragon.
Now, I did see one thing that was out there. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Dylan, you're chewing in your microphone there, buddy.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
God damn it, Dylan.
I mean, he's a fucking monkey, folks. I mean, what do you expect? So, sitting there acting like that.
I didn't know Beats did that.
At least he didn't throw poop at his camera.
Well, if you put the microphone on your neck, yeah.
I did see this as what some people are talking about, maybe a potential stretch goal. I don't know. If we were
just the goatee, or
if we were to surpass all of the other stretch goals and we could get to, let's say, 4,500, could we get an extra faceplate for Sir Benegar? That really the only thing that's been changed on here is our own Nate Strong added a little bit of hair to the chin on this face, so not that much of a difference. And all of a sudden, it looks exactly like a certain photographer in the community, a 1/6 shooter, Trevor Williams. So, who would be down for a Trevor Williams faceplate to make this?
I'll raise two
for
hands.
Trevor Guard. Yeah.
I mean, who couldn't find something to do with Trevor's face? I mean,
Exactly.
especially if you have a Stranger Things Vecna.
Yeah, I was gonna say Stranger.
I mean, this is fucking uncanny, right? Like the only thing that Nate did was add a little bit of hair to the chin, and like you do that, and it's like, holy shit! Like Treadaway is sculpting Trevor without even noticing that he's doing it. Like I think he's seen Trevor so much, he spent so much time with him that he's just like, oh, I got to sculpt like a cool knight. Like, who would be an awesome person to be a knight? And then all of a sudden, boom, Trevor.
Or how's this for a theory? If Trevor shaved his goatee, we wouldn't be able to recognize him.
That's it. So if we don't hit the stretch goals, if we don't get to 4,500 to get a Trevor faceplate, Trevor has to shave.
And we'll never be able to find him again because he won't look like him.
Yeah. He'll look like Benegar at that point, right? So either way, we're getting a Trevor figure.
There you go.
That's it. So either we get a Trevor faceplate or Trevor has to shave.
What if we got like glasses and it's a Nate Strong tribute?
Could be.
Glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Man, it's just, man, I can't believe how close that looks to Trevor. So,
Trevor's wife said, "That's you."
That's you.
Yep. I would really have to think about getting a third dragon if there was a Trevor faceplate. So,
man.
Yeah.
What do you mean? With customizing, you can make it a Trevor faceplate.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Not the same.
You want the official.
Yeah.
I display custom separately from the official figures, so I need to have a Trevor on my official.
Leave Trevor alone. We're not attacking Trevor. We love Trevor. We want a Trevor tribute figure. What do you I think you're misunderstanding. This is all in love. So yeah. Okay. Anything else? Any other primary objectives that I'm missing, Jeff, that I may have missed out on?
Nope, that was all that I threw up on that thing.
Okay.
I just want to reiterate for primary objective.
Back the campaigns.
We're back the campaign. Okay. And
there's multiple.
And as soon as it arrives, we're going to get a look at Curtis's 17-pound package.
Whoa.
Wait a minute, Oz. Keep it PG-13 there, buddy.
You got to pay extra for that.
Was it 12 pounds, 17
12
pounds? I can't remember.
It's 12, it was just
the
shy
legend's
of
going to
12
grow
pounds.
the legend's going to grow as this goes on.
Yeah.
Have you
It's gonna be
measured
like
said
35 by
package?
the time it gets to you.
It's going to be like 25, 30 pounds by the time it gets here. It's going to be as heavy as a dragon.
Weather's getting warmer. It might expand.
Here's what I will tell you. If Oz opens up that package on the clubhouse and he takes out each thing that's in there, it will take the entire length of a clubhouse, which for any of you that have watched the clubhouse knows that is not a short period of time. So, yeah.
Oz, he filled the box with sand. Sorry.
And I got to pull out each piece individually.
I'm going to tune in.
I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying if you did, it would be a long
It's going to be
opening. So
filled with more purple confetti that's just going to explode when I open it, just like my Secret Santa present. That's what it is.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Lightning round. Anybody have a lightning round question? If not, I'll try to look up something.
Have you been paying attention, Curtis?
Is that the lightning round question?
No,
I don't contribute to the show.
I thought what am I paying attention? Is that the light? I thought that was the lightning round question.
Yeah.
Am I paying attention?
I'll go first then, and we'll work our way around. And does Curtis?
Everybody's going to say no.
No.
Okay, I've got one. I will start with Terrence, and we'll work our way around. First one: texting or talking?
Texting.
Joe.
Texting.
Jeff.
Texting.
Dylan.
Texting.
Oz.
Texting.
I'm all talking. It's all.
We know you're all talkers.
Yeah,
we've known.
Okay,
that's no secret.
Here's I have seen so many conversations via social media, via text, via whatever go terribly wrong because there's certain things that you can't convey in text, or it gets misconstrued, or people don't understand the tone, or you're having to go back and forth. Where if you just had like a 30-second conversation, it would like totally fixed. So totally solved.
Curtis, you've been on enough shows right now that no one is wondering what your tone of speech would be over a text. Like I hear you
I can hear
in my
you
head when you text me. So
duly noted, but still talking.
No,
talking would be, yeah.
You know, it's lightning round, but the main reason that I prefer text is because I spend so much time at work, and I'm usually, doing things where I couldn't even record a voice message because of the commotion around me and stuff like that. I text most of the time because I spend most of my time at work. So.
Okay.
I have very similar kind of thing with Joe, except that I fucking talk all day long at work. And yeah, when I'm done, I don't even want to get on a phone. I just look, it's got to be something real damn important if you're giving me a phone call over texting me, because otherwise it's just not worth it. And I have ignored phone calls that come in before too. Like, no, I'm just not going to pick this.
I told my wife it's only an emergency if you call me. If it's not an emergency, you're texting me. That's how I differentiate. If she's calling me, that means it's an emergency, so I better fucking pick up.
I'd much rather talk. So
I will say there are certain people that I have to call because they're really bad at texting. Like you ask a question and they say something
like somebody
random.
who does talks to or talk to text. Is that?
Well, Terrence does that all the
time. I can always tell her. Yeah, I can always tell when Terrence is driving because his messages don't make any sense.
I would like to address this from Mike V. I'm not saying that I will physically call somebody, but I will leave voice messages in like the messenger chat or whatever. Like do it that way. Now I am a little weird on this. Normally, I like them to be 2-minute increments or less. So if you've got 6 minutes worth of shit to say, you better break that up into 3 different voice messages. So that,
or just text it. and then I cannot read
That's
it.
a lot of stuff to read. I'm
that'll-
not into reading.
But
I showed you how to highlight it
then
and
I
play.
don't have to read it, and I'll just be like,
What Curtis is saying is that his snark doesn't come over the text correctly. He's
Exactly. Yeah.
To have the
If you
proper
have
level
6
of
minutes of
snarkiness.
talking to do, just voice to text it and fix the typos.
Nah.
nobody's going
you're
back
making
and
that
fixing
person
those
read.
typos, Dylan.
So
Nobody's going
okay.
back and fixing those.
Imagine this, right? Imagine Joe's going about his day, oiling machines or greasing up or whatever it is. I imagine he's got like a big thing like Vorga.
Yes,
And
I
he's
do
like-
have a big
and
thing.
he's
Thanks
like-
for noticing.
Yeah, he's like, "Brrr," you know, whatever. And I've got
That's
something that I need to say to Joe. I can't expect him to put down the big grease gun and read whatever I sent, right? But if I send him a voice message, he can hit play, keep greasing the gun, and listen to my
And not
lovely
hear a
voice
word you say.
in his ear as I'm telling him like something really important. At the end, I just talk about Motu Vecna. So yeah, and he can't stop it because it's playing. Yeah, so
Oh, I can stop it. All right.
I'm gonna rewrite the whole "Believe in Joe Hendry" song and change it to Motu Vecna. The best part is it's the right amount of syllables. It'll work.
Mhm.
So you say his name and he appears. I believe in Motu Vecna.
There you go. I don't know how much I appreciate the cynicism here from Alan. Text, it has to be in writing. Words can be said and not meant. Text or receipts. That kind of scares me a bit.
Somebody's screenshotting all your text, Curtis.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
aware.
Alan is like he's keeping receipts, man.
Mhm.
All right.
It's important.
Yeah. Next one, starting with Oz, working our way back around the other way. A nickname that your parents used to call you when you were a kid.
Snickle Fritz.
I'm sorry. What's that now?
Snickle Fritz. You heard it.
Snickle Fritz. Okay. Yeah. Dylan.
I think everyone's gonna be shocked.
Mhm.
Drop that.
Probably Monkey was the most common one. Yeah, like come on.
Crazy. Okay. Jeff Ray.
Dumbass. No, I mean,
That's not my kid.
Nice.
I can't think of a nickname. I guess I'll go with my grandmother's nickname
Okay.
for me, which was Jeffy.
Oh, little Jeffy. Okay. Gotcha.
Little Jeffy Dahmer.
Joe.
My parents didn't call me by a nickname. I have ever.
They just called him you.
Joe. Just Joe.
Hey,
Yeah,
you.
I don't know.
Is Joe short for like Joseph?
It is.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you had a nickname all along because it's a shorter.
Don't
version.
make this complicated, Jeff.
I mean, Jeff is also.
I know it
Yeah.
is a nickname. It's a nickname.
Yeah. No, I just they didn't have like a cutesy pet name or anything like that. Like, yeah.
They didn't call you Joey?
No, they didn't.
No baby kangaroo.
No. Nothing.
All right. Terrence, what you got?
My dad, when I was very small, used to call me Cupcake.
Okay.
Yeah, just I don't know, Cupcake.
All right. I had unlike Joe, I had several nicknames that my specifically my stepdad called me.
Let me guess. Your nickname was Shut Up.
No, shut up. But
Purple Crabs.
lots of different
that's
ones.
my nickname for you.
Lots of different ones. I was let's see, Slinky at one point, Mathis, Spencer. But the one that stuck around the longest that was just kind of used all the time was One Eye. Even to this day, he calls me One Eye, all because I was playing darts and closed one of my eyes to aim while I was playing darts. And so for the rest of my life, he has called me One Eye.
Wow.
So yeah.
I got called a mistake a few times too.
There you go. That's
Well,
something.
because I didn't have a nickname. but there were several times that my dad said I was useless as tits on a doorknob.
Okay.
But that wasn't really a nickname. That was just something he said. And
That's a
my
title.
grandfather,
He's useless for short.
my grandfather on my mother's side, if he had company and I came in, and this is like when I was really young, like 4, 5, 6, that age, he would call me Josephina in front of, but only in front of company. Like if nobody was at the house.
Only when it was embarrassing.
Only when it was embarrassing. Yeah. So, but those weren't really nicknames. That was just situational. Molded me into the human being I am today.
Okay. I've got 2 more. I know we're only supposed to do 3, but the last one's just kind of a yes, no. It's pretty easy. Okay. But this one, invisibility or super strength. I'm gonna start with Dylan and work around Dylan, Jeff, and then go from there. So Dylan, invisibility, super strength. Which one?
Ooh, invisibility.
Not what I thought you'd go with. I thought you'd go with the super strength, kind of just be
He's
like
already got super
like
strength,
King
so
Kong,
there's
like a
no
gorilla.
point.
Yeah. Okay. Jeff.
Invisibility.
Okay. Joe.
Super strength, because I'm not a pervert like those guys.
You're missing out, man. You're missing out.
Terrence.
Now
Terrence is like, man, I wanted to do invisibility, but
I wish I could be invisible right now. Peekaboo.
We were all talking over you, Terrence. Sorry, start over again.
Still a pervert. I'm still going with invisibility.
Very nice.
You better hope Gina doesn't pick super strength.
Listen, you use your super strength wrong in a public bathroom, you have a problem. You use your invisibility, and you don't have to feel bad about being in a public bathroom.
You should feel bad if you're using invisibility in a public
Dylan,
bathroom.
you're not helping your
As a matter of fact, you
That's
should
not what
feel
I
bad
meant.
just for
You know what?
I would have never even
You
said
did
that.
not
I would
help
never
that
even
You know what?
argument whatsoever.
I heard it as soon as I said it.
Jeff, before you get too high and mighty, do you remember last week's This Week in Theaters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Angel. Angel was amazing.
I bet you did.
That's the
Invisibility
problem,
boy.
Jeff.
He's legal. Yes.
I will say before we get to me and Oz for the invisibility super strength, I did try to watch that crane operator movie. And it was like the most boring thing I've ever seen. It was so fucking bad, man. I was like, I'm gonna make it through this. No, you aren't, man. You're not.
Like an infomercial.
I mean, they really summed it up.
It is pretty bad.
It didn't take me viewing it to know
Yeah.
that it was going to be shit.
It is rough.
And it's not even just a crane operator. It's a crane operator with depression. Like, that's even worse.
I think that comes with the territory.
In that case, it did.
You mean people who work for a living? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. From experience.
Man, I honestly, I think I'm going to have to go super strength because I can't think of, to Joe's point, I can't think of anything non-pervy that invisibility would be good for. You know?
I just want to be left alone at most times.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go super strength, but
I bet you do.
All right.
No, I want people to see that, Joe.
Okay. That's the monkey part. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know
Still
why they called you
perverted,
monkey.
Dylan. Still perverted. So I'm a pervert like the rest of these guys. I want to be invisible. I already know what super strength is, so like I live that. But yeah, invisibility would be nice because I don't really fucking like people, so it'd be great to just disappear every once in a while.
Me, you, and Jeff can go see Angel Invisible Light.
Whoa.
No, I'm not going to see that movie. I am
keeping
not
my
going to see that
myself.
movie. Yeah, please,
You
in
have
your
to be
own time,
invisible
y'all
alone,
be
Angel.
invisible
Taking
in
the
your
whole paper,
bathroom,
buddy.
watching
Oh, I
Angel.
know.
I'm gonna go
The ship is
be
going down.
invisible somewhere else, and you won't know because you won't see me.
all right, last one, and this is just a simple yes/no question. Is it wrong for a vegetarian? And I could just probably stop there and we just say yes, it's wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say enough said.
But is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat an animal cracker? Oz.
That's a good one.
You said vegetarian. I'm still at yes. It's wrong.
Okay. Dylan.
Period.
I'm going to say yes because their morals should dictate that they don't.
Okay. Jeff?
No, it's a freaking cracker.
So the symbolism doesn't matter.
But they're vegetarians, so they're wrong.
All right. Joe?
No. It doesn't matter. It's a cracker. That's vegetarians, not vegans. Now, if it was vegans, then they couldn't do it. But
Funnily enough, I know less annoying vegans than I do annoying vegetarians.
Okay.
Sure.
Terrence?
I got confused about vegans being crackers, but I just think that they should be able to eat, whatever they want, but they should really stay in their lane with veggie thins.
Okay. I'm gonna say yes, it's wrong. Because if they want the rest of us to stay away from meat, which apparently they do, because they can't just be a vegetarian themselves, they got to tell everybody else fucking about it. And if they want us to stay away from meat, they could at least stay away from those delicious animal crackers. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's wrong.
All right.
And that is all of the items that we've got. So we'll go around and see where everybody's gonna be. Oz, you gotta be somewhere, anytime, doing anything.
I heard something about a little thing called Clubhouse tomorrow. It's not really that big of a deal, but
there'll only be 1,000 people watching.
Exactly.
Okay.
Big deal.
Tell you what, if I get 1,000 views tomorrow, I'll actually feel like I earned this shit. But yeah, tomorrow night we're gonna be on the Clubhouse, hanging out, having fun. I don't even know if I'm gonna have anything to open myself, but I'm just gonna be having a good time with some familiar faces that you see here and the rest of the cast. It's just a fun place to be on a Saturday night. Other than that, I actually think it's a light week. Unless somebody messages me and reminds me I'm supposed to be doing something else. Yeah, that's it for this week. Just tomorrow night.
All right. Well, I just wanted I've already let you know, but I just want to let everybody else know out there that I'm not sure that I can count as an actual subscriber to Oz's channel, because I did not subscribe for the content. Like, I don't, there's nothing about Oz's show and his content that made me go, hey, I need to hit that subscribe button. It's just because he's fucking gorgeous. Like, I just, it's like, I got to see that on a regular basis. I cannot miss this.
I could have almost been really mean.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason I got an invite to this show.
That's true. That's true. All right, Dylan, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at
Hanging from trees.
Hanging from trees, flinging poop. I'll probably be here again next week.
Yeah, maybe Saturday Day Live tomorrow. You gonna drop in there?
I might, if I have nothing going on.
Oh wow. So, I'm gonna have to let them know that. Well, Dylan said he'd join you if he has nothing going on. You guys are his backup plan.
I'm just not talking right today.
Okay.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
They'll be like, Dylan ever has things going on?
Yeah.
And then,
mostly
bananas, mostly bananas.
Invisibility.
So, invisibility, bananas.
Most of the time, I'm either working or talking to Joe. So
you don't see anything. You don't see in person there. You just see a banana like slowly being eaten away,
floating across the room.
Floats up, starts to unpeel seductively.
I'm like, Dylan, get out of my bathroom, dude! Come on.
Start throwing dollars at the dripping banana.
Oh shoot! Steph says Dylan is gorgeous. Am I allowed to say that? You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, Steph, we talked about this. You're allowed to say it, but you have to buy me a dragon.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, Dylan's easy, but
that
he's
was
not
the
cheap.
terms.
Yeah. Jeff Ray, where can people find you at?
I am in the Cabal, better known in the Cosmic Cabal, with a every other Tuesday live Cosmic Contact at 8 p.m. Eastern. This week was awesome. We talked about what would we want dragon size in Cosmic Legions, and I got some really cool ideas. So thanks everybody who joined me this week. And then
I didn't, by the way.
No, you've missed 2, and I'm keeping track.
Unfortunately, I had a lot of travel going on this week, so I had to be up at 1:30 in the morning, which meant I had to sleep at stupid times. But yeah, sorry about that.
Fair enough. Thank you for explaining.
Yeah,
I'm not heartbroken anymore.
I do like your show. Like, I do like tuning in. I just, I had a nap. So
no, I get it. What was that? An appetizer? You need
yeah, that's a new thing that we came up with this week. It's what I do where I take a nap before I actually go to sleep for the night, and Darla calls it a napetizer.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So
and then this Sunday, 2 shows I'm going to be on. At 1 p.m. we are doing our episode 2 of The Tribe, a Animal Warriors of the Kingdom fan show on the Saturday Morning Toy Collector YouTube channel.
Yep.
And then I think I have like maybe an hour or 3 in between the shows, and then at 6 p.m. I'm with the dudes on Latin Legions, 6 p.m. Eastern.
And at this point, Jeff is going to give us his favorite Hispanic saying.
Hola.
Wow. Killed it. Killed
Jefe.
it, man.
Hola, jefe.
Killed it. Okay. Joe, where can people find you at, sir?
I will be on the Clubhouse tomorrow night. And we just recorded a new episode of Legion's Quest this last week. Just went up on YouTube, and the audio version is out there on whatever I guess people listen to audio stuff on. I actually don't know.
Dylan gets a shout out.
Yeah, he does. He does. But this personally, I ended up really enjoying this episode.
It was a lot of fun.
I think it was a really good one.
It was a good listen.
I just wanted to plug that because it was a great episode. So if you enjoyed Dungeons and Dragons or Curtis's shenanigans or Trevor's lovely face or Nate and Jesse, whatever they do, and would like to check it out, we appreciate the viewership. I think it's a good time.
Yep.
Do we get to see Vecna dices during?
No, you can't see them. That's was my point about wasting $5. But okay,
but I get to see them, which is cool. It's
Curtis
for me. I didn't buy them for you. I bought them for me. So, but like we said earlier, we are testing out the Mythic Legions D&D game. We are this upcoming Monday. We will be working on kind of finalizing our characters and getting started on that. So we, like Joe said, we'll be recording it. And then at some point, once they're getting ready to launch the campaign for that, we should hopefully be able to drop those episodes for people, which should be fun. So, but we're excited to try that. So
definitely.
Are you doing like double recordings, like both the Mythic Legions RPG and?
Yeah, we didn't want to stop what we're currently doing, so we're meeting on the off weeks of Legion's Lounge to do our Legion's Quest episodes, and then on the weeks of Legion's Lounge, they're gonna kind of hang around after Legion's Lounge is over, and we're gonna do this session for the Mythic Legion one. So,
and
kind of more of an abbreviated one. There'll
be shorter episodes, but Bill Dorklear will be joining us for
correct. Yep.
That makes sense.
And just kind of trying to provide some feedback to Cameron, but I'm pretty excited so far. Like, just without giving away any of the different like rule sets or anything like that. Like, I just looking at it and kind of going through it, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think people are going to really enjoy it. So
absolutely, 100% agree.
Yep. Terrence, what about you? Where can people find you at besides every single con, besides Mesquite Con? It's like you personally are just saying, fuck you, Curtis, I don't want to hang out with you, but I'm going to go to every other con. But yeah, where can people find you?
We really seriously wanted to go to Muskegon. It was a rough month with cons. So we had Zolo at the beginning, and now we have Toylanta at the end. And Michigan would have been a week before Toylanta. And unless you're Tanya or Kevin, I don't think anyone else is making that journey. But We will be at Toylanta in 2 weeks. We did record an episode with Schmerber, which means that it could play sometime in the next 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Me and Gina recorded an episode, I think, a week after ZoloCon, so it should play sometime by next year's Legion's Con.
Christmas episode. Yeah.
There you go. I recorded one with Jeff and Schmerber back when they were doing their cosmic thing, and it was like 3.5 hours long, and it felt like an eternity, and it never aired. It was like I wasted all of that time.
I got him.
Nothing.
I got him.
And even during it, like it was going really long, and I'm like,
there's technical difficulties and everything.
Yeah, I made a comment at some point, like, is this too long? Like, do we need to cut this short? And Jeff's like, no, I'll edit it. Don't worry about it. Like, it never saw the light of day. So that was like a year ago.
This time last year.
Yeah.
The episode of mine with Schmerber, this last one we recorded like right after Legion's Con. It had been so long that I didn't remember anything that we talked about. I had to rewatch the show to know what I thought about things.
Joe's watching it and he's going, "This guy's really interesting," and it was himself.
I like the
he
sound
really
of his
thinks
voice.
about the same things.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna trim my mustache like that. Damn.
Yeah.
And I don't want this to be taken out of the wrong way. I mean, I love Schmerber. It's funny though. I laugh because I sometimes notice that I say things in the interviews I do with him, and then by the time it plays, I'm talking about something that will be coming out, but came out 6 months ago. By
What you have to do is do 3 episodes, and he'll release the second and third at the same time.
Yeah,
that's what you did with me.
Dylan cracked the code. Yep.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's on 3 times.
Speaking of Schmerber, though, tomorrow morning, check out Double Jointed on the Saturday Morning Toy Collector channel. I do think that it is for me, it's my favorite show on YouTube right now. I really enjoy it. Just kind of getting up, doing the whole Saturday morning vibe like I did when I was a kid, where I'm just sitting around, but instead of watching cartoons, I'm watching those two guys talk about toys. They play some old toy commercials. They have, just fun opening up things. And I really love it. So check that out on the Saturday Morning Toy Collector channel. That is at 11 Eastern now. They moved the time. It's still in the morning. Technically, it's getting close to the afternoon, but yeah. And then Steph says Oz's glasses are fire. So there you go.
New glasses. Just got them last week. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You say nude glasses?
New.
Like their X-ray vision.
Well, the other ones were absolutely
Yeah.
falling apart. As a matter of fact, they fell apart right before we went live one Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's right. I remember you were holding them in pieces. Yeah.
I was like, son of a bitch. But yeah.
Holy
so
cow,
I
that's a nice Unkin. Look at that.
Not Unkin.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Unkin. He's hunkin', that's for sure.
Hey, that is true.
That's a hunkin' Unkin. Oh, is that a Vecna?
It's not a Vecna.
That's cool.
She didn't say it's not a Vecna.
Vecna dongs. Oh gosh. Yeah.
It's not Vecna, not a Vecna.
That
It is
figure
a
comes with
Vecna.
dongs,
It's just
right?
not Vecna. Get your verbiage right. God damn it.
I'm pretty sure it's Vecna and Unkin, but
It's not.
That's
what I'm going to be doing to Curtis when I see him at Legion's Con.
He's going to be hitting me with dong.
He's going to be dunking.
Thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate it. Go back, zombie, something space
Zombies from Mars.
There you go. Go back that. Go back the dragon if you haven't. If you're already back,
Space Zombies from Mars will go great with a dragon. Just buy everything.
Buy everything.
Get everything. And we will see you tomorrow on one of the shows that we're on, especially the Clubhouse, because we love Oz and he's over 1,000 due to his good looks. So
hell yes.
All right. We'll see all you folks later. Have a good one.